on YouTube.
Beautiful downtown. Something. That dude is loud.
Yeah, definitely loud. Once we start doing this with regularity, I bet you people will start popping up kind of like they do with the Instagram one.
Oh, sure.
Poor Artie, he pulls his hair out every week wondering when we're going to record.
Well,
No, he's
stay on
all
your
right.
toes, Artie.
We keep it fresh. We never know when we're going to record, so I
That's
don't
true,
really ever
too.
have an answer to give
Yeah.
you. Well, that's why I just don't have an answer to give them because we
Yeah.
never know when we're going to
Well,
record
I mean, it's,
on the weekends anyway.
you know, yeah, I mean, that's just life.
Yeah. Well, YouTube. That's Bwaaa. All right.
YouTube.
Are you guys gonna do anything or just chilling?
We're just chilling. We're just gonna
we're
wait.
on YouTube.
We only got like 10 minutes before they pop
We're
up.
good. I've got the meeting ready to go.
We didn't want to interrupt our flow.
Hey, just make sure that this is the aux cord turned up.
Okay.
Our two mics, that's all we'll need. It's a weird order we're doing shit.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely not a
Uh-huh.
not a normal order here. We're definitely out of order. In order, out of order. In order, out of order. We're in order. All right.
I should do something.
Thought about streaming Red Dead Redemption onto to the Bwaaa page.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, I thought about it.
I think, so this last week, Cam Stewart started with us.
Okay.
He's gonna do a 2-hour-a-day live sports show.
Okay.
But this show is gonna be a little different. You remember him from coming on here, right? He was our guest that time.
Yeah. Is that guy?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah, I remember.
So, he's doing that 2-hour-a-day sports show,
Yeah.
but Zach and I are gonna try to make it funny. Like, different.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, than a straight-up sports show.
No, for sure.
And so one of the things we talked about doing is playing like Techno Bowl on the show and just, you know,
That'd be fun.
having him call it like it's a real game.
Not only that, you could also do simulated NFL seasons where he does like a game of the week and you pick one game, whatever that week is, that matchup, and just simulate him on Madden, and he just watches it and calls it as he's doing it. There's a lot of people that do that. There was that guy that's got real famous, the "What's Up, Brother?" That guy. He was doing that
Oh yeah.
with his buddies, where they would all set up like an NFL franchise and they would simulate the whole thing and they would watch the games, and he was commentating on the games as they were
kinda
playing,
cool.
kind of thing. I've done that before. Me and my buddy have set it up where we would just we would set up like a franchise season for one team, and we would just simulate each game and just watch the games instead of playing them. Which I mean, that's kind of a lazy way to play Madden. But
Well, I just think on a sports show like that, I don't know if anybody's really like playing fucking Techno Bowl. Or
probably
whatever,
not.
You know,
They got that new version of Tecmo Bowl too, where you could switch it to modern graphics or new graphics.
I want the old shit.
Man, that sounds like fun.
Yeah,
If
I
y'all
think-
ever need anybody,
Oh yeah, you're welcome to come on, pop up whenever you want.
I'll gladly
If
pop
you
up.
know any sports stuff or whatever.
Oh, I know sports
that
stuff.
helps, but it's not necessary.
I might know more than the guys doing the sports show. I watch every sport there is pretty much. I watch a ton of sports. I watch cricket. I watch badminton.
Really?
I probably know more about the odd sports than the main
see-
sports. I watch darts, billiards.
I kind of like that. You know, the odd sports.
I like
Maybe
the
there's
odd
a
sports
place-
more. I
maybe
like them
there's
way
a place
more.
for you to do that. Just talk odd sports. You know.
I think so. The non-traditional sports, they're funner to watch.
What day are you still off on Mondays?
Yeah, I'm off every Monday.
Okay. What we'd probably do is pop you in with like a Zoom or something, so you could do it from where you're at.
I mean, I could come up here on Mondays.
That's up
It
to
doesn't
you,
matter.
yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
I can come to the studio on that and do that. That'd be fun.
I'm gonna get their I'm gonna get our schedule up and going, but yeah, I think you could probably pop up on a Monday or something and just talk weird sports or something.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Or stuff that nobody knows about, you know.
There's a lot of weird sports out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Backgammon.
Backgammon.
Yeah, it's like backgammon boxing. It's like chess boxing, where you make a
Wait,
move
what?
and then you box. You never heard of chess boxing?
Backgammon boxing?
Yeah, it's like chess boxing. You know, in chess boxing, they make a move. Like each team makes a move, and then they stand up and they box for a round. It's like that with backgammon, but you know, everybody gets get your dice rolls. You get to make your turn, and then after each player makes their turn, they box in the middle of the ring.
Do you remember battle chess?
Battle chess? No, I don't remember battle chess.
So battle chess was one of these things that was like, oh fuck, it was like, what was that football game where you slam everybody into the ground?
You talking about NFL Street?
No.
No.
Where you play as robots and you beat everybody up.
Oh, NFL? No, I don't know.
But you know what I'm talking about. It's
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
But battle chess was way back in the day, but it was something. '88, '89.
Oh damn, man, you're taking it way
Yeah,
back.
look at those graphics.
I love that too.
They're
I
so
love that
blocky.
chiptune music.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
There's somebody online that does that with the laser, like an old matrix printer, and it makes all the different range of sounds. So they
Sure.
got it where it's like, "We are the champions, my
So-
friend." Oh wow, that's actually decent for 88,
For 88,
man.
89, yeah.
That was top of the line. That's like AAA title right there. Oh, and then there's like a battle sequence
They
whenever
fight
you
each
take a
other,
player.
yeah.
Is there like a battle and then whoever wins gets to stay, or does it automatically?
I don't remember, honestly.
No, that's pretty cool.
All those sounds.
There's a game right now that's on Steam called FPS Chess, and whenever you make your move, it turns into an FPS. You make your move and then you start shooting at each other,
Okay.
and whoever shoots, whoever wins, kind of thing, wins that turn.
Oh my god, what is this?
In the world of board game sports, these two are about to clash on the crokinole board. On one side, we have Billy, the undefeated player whose flicks are as legendary as his winning streak. Conversely, we
That's
have
crazy.
giant
What's that called? A crokinole?
I don't know.
opponent known for his strategic gameplay and powerful shots. Today,
So
they
is this a
face
puppet
off
that
in
just
an
doesn't
epic
move?
showdown that
I
fans
don't know. I've never even seen that board. That board to me is foreign.
Will he maintain his unbeaten record, or will Al topple the king? and
But it may
claim
just be
the
the
throne?
thing they made up.
Welcome to the Board Game Sports Network. where
Crokinole.
legends are
No, that's a game. Crokinole. I've heard of crokinole. I don't know where it's
Get
played.
ready for the undefeated
We
Billy
played
versus
Mancala
the
in
giant
school. That was the
Al.
thing. we
I
did.
remember Mancala, yeah.
Billy comes in today the king of the peels. Billy loves a clean board, and he's going to make sure the board stays clean. A peel is when you knock off the opponent's disc as well as your shooter disc. Billy has done this 24 times this season in 4.
High flying crokinole.
High flying crokinole.
High
everybody.
stakes crokinole.
Yeah, I've never heard of.
I want to know more about crokinole.
Crokinole is definitely not one that I have ever heard about.
Oh.
That's different.
Hey,
Oh, we're going.
look at there. It's a guy in a suit.
Oh, he's got a suit on. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, obviously.
Let me scoot in here.
Yeah, this is gonna be a little weird. You'll probably get a lot of Rusty and a little bit of me, so.
No worries.
Yeah. So how's it going?
This is an empty chair.
Okay.
Great. How are you guys?
Oh, we're doing
Okay.
great. We're
Yeah,
doing great. We're
okay.
just in the studio doing our stuff for the week.
Yeah,
Sound good.
we're good. Thank you, Mason. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're also live on YouTube right now too. So we're just sitting here streaming, waiting on you guys. Yeah,
Just for the heck of it.
just for the heck of it. Just something new we're doing.
What's up, you two?
Hello, YouTube. Hey,
There
I
you
like
go.
that. Sounds.
I think Chris is getting the baby Hank down.
Baby Hank.
Baby Hank.
I think
Very nice.
Good Hank is what we call him. Oh, he's now peeing.
Ah, fantastic.
Live updates from Chris.
The baby or Chris?
I don't know. He
Okay.
didn't specify.
It's a mystery pee.
A mystery piss.
So what do you
We'll
do?
get into it in the show.
So what do you do, man?
What's up?
What do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah. Like
for
real
a
life.
living
Real
or
life.
just-
Yeah, like what do you do?
Real life.
Yeah.
Work-wise, I work for HeadGum.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Podcast
Yeah,
network.
we talked about
Yeah.
that. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to assume, and I'm old and I don't remember
Yeah.
things. So there we go.
Yep. Slinging podcast ads.
Yeah. So
it's a living.
You're like the dishwasher in the Flintstones.
Exactly.
It's
There you go.
11. Yeah. Uh-oh, you lost his headphones. So
How about you guys?
What's the big thing? What are you working on right now? What's the big show?
As far as podcasting goes,
Show.
we just acquired Jake Johnson from New Girl,
Oh yeah.
his podcast.
Yeah, the one he does with his friend. Yeah. That's a decent show.
It's been good viewership. People really want it, so it's been successful for us so far. Otherwise, we launched David Cross's podcast.
I saw that. Yeah.
That's been fun working
Y'all want to
with
buy
him.
our show? We're for sale.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I don't have any say over any of that. But
His show is fascinating to me because I can't tell if it's manufactured unpreparedness or if it's actual unpreparedness.
It's actual unprepared. I can attest to that.
That's what I thought.
From first-person experience.
Okay. I mean,
Here he is.
If
you're talking about me, it's actual unpreparedness.
Oh,
for sure.
No, we're talking about
no,
David
not
Cross,
talking about you.
fella.
Yeah.
You have an excuse. You have baby.
I mean, I'm sure we'll like you, but David Cross is probably, a little.
David Cross, bit of a diva.
Oh no,
I'll say that.
I would imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen him.
I can imagine
pissed.
so.
Yeah.
To me, it would seem like he's a perfectionist in what he's doing.
But he's also
He's gotten snippy with me via email a few times.
he's also a never nude, so that goes into
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That does cross over to real life.
Never nude,
Yeah.
and he blew himself. So.
Exactly.
All right.
And he loves it when you bring those references.
Oh, I bet he
up.
does. I bet he fucking hates that.
What's up, Crispy?
Bonjour.
All right,
What's
here we
good,
go.
fella?
Bonjour, dude.
Oh,
You
look
know,
at this. He's got a mustache
Sunday
and a
morning.
hat and the whole thing.
Mustache.
Best I
You're
can do.
sounding quiet, Chris.
Best I can
Am
do.
I?
Can you
is
kick up the gain?
How's this? Better?
It's not gonna work, dude.
No.
No, not for you. Not for you. I'm talking about us. We're trying to squeeze into one screen here.
Oh, it's all good. Check,
Oh,
bro.
that's
Ooh,
perfect.
Better.
that did it.
Better.
Perfect.
Perfect.
That is
better.
perfect.
Okay. Sorry. Ooh, that's a little.
So I got a question for you.
There you
Were you peeing or was the baby peeing?
I was definitely peeing.
Okay.
He could have been pissing his pants.
Well, that's true. You wouldn't have known, I guess, until later.
Yeah.
That's a nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice thing about a baby. I mean, you don't have to really do it right now.
Yeah.
That is true.
He definitely hasn't. He definitely hasn't shit in a couple of days though.
Oh, that's good too.
A couple
Yeah.
of days.
It's just a
It's been
couple of days.
days.
That's fine.
Coming soon.
So it was a real. We were playing with fire at the grocery store. We were like, should we take him in? Like, I feel like if he's gonna shit, like,
Oh, it'll be
if he has
everywhere. It'll
if he has any bit of timing, it would be the grocery store.
all
but he did.
in
What's the alternative?
everywhere.
Leave him in the car by himself?
You can put them on. You can put them on the hood. They're fine.
Mhm. Circle the block.
Wow. Pick him up.
Yeah.
Poor kid.
Mm.
All right, gentlemen, you ready?
All right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So loose plan, basically.
Yeah.
I'm gonna record the Zoom if that's cool with y'all. Are
Oh,
you guys
absolutely.
able to record just an audio track?
Yeah. That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
that's
we
what
got
we're
that.
doing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah.
This will be a Friday for us. We'll drop it as a Friday episode.
Cool. Perfect. And we will just kind of start off with intro type situation.
Yeah.
We have a quick segment called This Week in Arlen,
Very nice.
where I go through like what was going on during the week that the
Right.
episode dropped.
Yeah.
That
Awesome.
should be probably like 5 to 8 minutes. It's
Okay.
always a good time. And
Is
then
it-
Chris will run through the episode, just
Okay.
like kind of like
Similar to
walk through it.
how you guys do it. Yeah, we
Yeah.
kind of talk through scene by scene and just
Oh.
point out the jokes and point
Oh.
out the references and
Can't-
that type of thing.
I can't wait for the next hour and a half. Then that'll be great.
We'll try to keep it to an hour.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Yeah.
And then at the end, we have a segment that we call the Alley,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where we'll give the episode a score
Okay.
out of 6 Alamo brews, and then we'll crown a Hill King for
Okay.
the episode. So
Cool.
MVP
Love it.
of the episode.
Sounds great.
Love it. Is our sound okay
Yeah.
for you?
Yeah, sounds
Okay.
great.
Good. All right.
Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and hit record on my
Sick.
end. She's speeding. Gonna hit the Zoom.
Recording in progress.
Why, thank you for letting us know.
It asks for consent.
Thank you, robot.
Very nice.
Well, it doesn't really. It just says it's doing it.
I used to hate hearing that. I was doing college online in like 2021. I was doing some school, and I'd be sitting there with like my bong and a beer, and you would hear this is recording. I'm like, what? I gotta hurry up, like clean everything out of the scene.
Turn my camera off. Shit. Hell yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here. Excuse me. Sorry.
Everybody good? Everybody ready?
Everybody's good. Everybody's
Yeah,
ready.
ready
Let's
to go.
go.
I'm gonna kick the theme song off.
Well,
Sunday morning, rain is falling.
Yeah.
Am I right?
share some color, share some skin.
Welcome back, Chris. We have guests on the show today.
Yes.
This is the Hill Kings podcast, and we have experts
Yes.
in the King of the Hill
We have-
realm.
I think we're on the wrong
Some
call.
subject matter.
Yeah.
We have Rusty and Mike from the Bwaaa podcast,
Howdy.
the
Wow.
King of the Hill podcast. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank
Well,
you,
our
guys. We really
our
appreciate
little
that.
Yeah. Thanks for having us on. We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Here's what I've learned in the 3 years of doing this. Talk over each other as often as you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Overlapping
for sure.
dialogue.
Oh, great
That's what
content.
it's all
Yeah,
about.
people
I
love
just
it.
spilled coffee all over myself too.
There you go.
Heck yeah,
So it's
dude.
going well so far.
Well, that's like A, then B, then the next thing is you shit yourself. So it'd be great.
Exactly. Yes. And we did just hear about
sorry.
how Chris's baby, Good Hank, baby update, y'all.
Yeah.
GH.
For the fans listening, GH has not pooped in multiple days.
Yeah.
Pray for us.
Well,
So Chris, let us know about that.
I'm going to go ahead and let you know.
Pagane.
I'm going to go ahead and let you know I'm at a certain age where I haven't pooped for a couple of days as well. So
We're also
It's
praying for you.
sol-
Let's hear-
sol-
let's hear some more about
sol-
that.
I'm
solid-
flowing regularly.
Well, it's
I keep a lot of fiber in my
I
diet.
have solidarity with your baby, and I'm hoping to start a club of some kind.
Yes.
We're all about baby solidarity on this show.
Chime into the comment section.
I don't know if you guys are into baby solidarity.
They haven't shit.
Oh, their protests are so cute.
The cutest
Look at
protest. Tell us a little bit about yourself, fellas. How long has the podcast been going on?
Yeah.
What is the whole deal with it?
The whole deal. Well, to start off, I asked you questions like that when we were off the air. I was like, "Hey, so what do you do?" And then, I mean, that could be taken any way, Plus, we'd already met, so that was a real gaffe on my part. So we've been doing this podcast for what? 3 years?
We've been doing it for almost 3 years. I
almost
think
3
our
years.
first episode released at the very end of 2021, the beginning of 2022.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this. What was that? What just happened?
I don't know, it said something
Okay.
about battery or something.
Oh, shit.
I think we're good.
Well, if it goes down, it goes down, and we'll
Yeehaw.
rejoin you guys. Yeah, we've been doing it for almost 3 years. I know we've been doing it at 3 different locations.
Yeah, we're in our third
this is
location
our-
right now.
We're in a 4th location
Nice.
for the studio itself, but
Third location that we've been
for the
recording.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that voluntary, or are you guys getting like kicked out?
Most of it
Are
is-
you
most-
recording in places without
Mhm.
consent. What's
Yeah.
the
Yeah, you're
situation there?
trespassing,
Yeah.
loitering,
Well,
squatting
it-
in studios.
It used to be the mop closet at 7-Eleven. And then I don't know if you guys remember when all the 7-Elevens left Texas, they all
That's good
became
audio.
Yeah, they all became Circle K's. And then Circle K didn't want anything to do with us, so we ended up moving in the back of a nail salon, which a lot like what's his face from Breaking Bad. And then now we're in a high-rise building. So the normal way it works. You start.
I was going to
with
say, it's a nice day behind you.
7-Eleven,
Yeah.
Circle K, nail salon, high-rise building.
We're in
That's how it
the.
works.
It's like a historical building in town. It's like the oldest, tallest. Not oldest, but like the tallest old building in town. It used to be
Oh,
the
interesting.
tallest skyscraper this side of the Mississippi when it was built. So
That's what
there
they
was.
called me in high school.
It's the
That's
the
what they-
western skyscraper, the first one.
That's what they called me in high school too. The tallest, oldest. student.
That's really
Yeah. Good stuff. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll be here all week. Try the tuna.
What town are you guys in again?
We're in Waco, Texas.
Waco,
WACO.
The home of Dr.
Yeah.
Pepper.
We've got real Texans on the show, Chris. Chris
Real Texans
is an
alert.
Oklahoman,
Ooh.
and I am, unfortunately,
Also
Canadian.
Oklahoman.
Okay.
Are you
For all of
are you
you.
in
Yeah.
Canada now?
No, I am in Oregon.
Okay. All right. So you're
Canada
also
Light.
in the room closet of a 7-Eleven.
you're you're Canada
This is
adjacent.
the nicest
Yeah.
7-Eleven in
You're in
Oregon.
Canada Light, Oregon. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Well, that's
Diet
great.
Canada.
That's great. We got a lot of people around here from either the Oregon or Portland type regions. The guy who owns us, is from Portland.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I mean
Nice.
personally, not the business.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Your owner.
Hey, I just need a plan. That's all. And so if that helps, then
Yeah.
that's great.
I was
Oh,
just
yeah.
in Texas last week. I was in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Oh, yeah?
Over
Oh,
in,
okay. Heck
the
yeah.
Colony.
Oh, you were in the
Like
colony.
Westville.
The colony.
Ooh,
Yeah,
la, la.
they're doing some
Fancy.
work, yeah.
Little fancy schmancy.
Very fancy. Where your
Funny place.
Yeah,
Funny
you-
place.
your ice cream costs $12 and there's nowhere to park.
Exactly.
The colony, come see us.
Any fans from the colony, chime in.
Chime in.
They can't listen to this. They have like
Yes.
very bespoke radios and things like that. There, giant
Oh
wheeled
no,
bicycles
our
and stuff.
listenership is very high class.
Are
We
they?
wear suits. We dress up. Yeah.
Well, that was
yeah.
something I
They
was
are-
really impressed with when both of you came on the Zoom. I got one that's dressed like the captain from Captain and Tennille, and then the other one, the one that's in Canada, he wearing a nice little sports jacket. He's got a
Yeah, they're
beautiful
dressed.
background. I mean, you guys look the
Yeah.
part. You look
Got
great.
Bob's
Sharp.
Burgers on the TV.
The
Yeah.
CRT,
Go
I love
up.
the CRT thing.
Yeah.
I'm a collector myself. I have like 6 or 7
Oh, no
CRT
way.
TVs. I only
yeah.
watch TV on a CRT.
A man
Nice.
after my own.
That's the way to do it.
There's only three.
we,
There's only
we've
3
established
shows you
a
can watch.
rapport.
Yeah, I only get
Yes,
3
we have.
channels.
Yeah. All right, let's go, man. Let's do some King of the Hill.
We are here
Let's do it.
to talk about season 2, episode 10, Bobby Slam
Bobby Slam.
of King of the Hill,
Mhm.
everyone's favorite 90s cartoon. But you know what we got to do before that, Chris? You know
Yes.
what we got to do.
Back in time.
Everyone's
baby.
favorite segment, This Week in Arlen. And I'm going to go, this will
Perfect.
be an edit point right here. I'm gonna go-
Edit point. We're
There
at an
you
edit
go,
point. Say
little
what you
flag
want.
on it. Flag on
Say
the
whatever
plate.
you want.
Say whatever you want.
Yellow card. Yeah.
Yellow card.
Yellow card. Yellow card, edit point. All right, here we go.
We just sneeze really loud. That's how we find our edit points.
Nice. Oh, the soundboard. Lucky.
Son of a bitch.
Don't peek, don't peek. All right.
I'm peeking.
This episode, of course, as you guys know, as King of the Hill professionals, aired on December 14th, 1997. Of course, this is the segment of the show where I, Brad, go into depth on what was going on in the world around town during the week that this episode aired. December
Yeah.
14th, 1997. What do you think that you guys were doing?
Yeah. Leading
On
up to
this
Christmas. Where are you guys at in 1997, Christmas time?
1997 Christmas time. 7 years old. Praying and hoping for a Game Boy. I think probably at that time. I think
Ooh.
Gen 2 Pokemon, Gold and Silver was probably getting ready to come out
Ooh.
around that time.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Pokemon has come up on this segment multiple times.
Yeah, I think that's probably
frequent.
what I was waiting on in 97. Actually, no, sorry, I take that back. It was a PlayStation 1 is what we got for Christmas. Me and my brother got a lot of
Ooh,
shared gifts, and we got a
Yes.
PlayStation 1 that year. So
With the pop-up lid for the disc. Man, that was so nice.
where were you at, Mike? Christmas 1997.
December 14th, 1997. I had one kid already.
Okay.
Wasn't
Wow.
mine, so I had to return it. But I think I was working. Shit, this was 5 years before. So I was working as the manager of an IT department. That's
Oh,
what
okay.
I was doing. Yeah.
Mr. IT.
I was on my second marriage, which would come to an end soon. And then the next thing I remember from 97 would be 2001 when something happened. Yeah.
When
Yeah.
the towers
Yeah,
got
that was about it. I think I
Yeah.
black out between 97 and 2001.
Which fun fact, the
So there was
episode
kind of a
that
4-year Blake spot.
yeah.
Well, it's not the only one, but sure, yeah.
Fun fact, the
Oh my
episode that we're actually on is the last episode that airs before September 11th happens.
Oh yeah, that's the one we're
wow.
covering this week.
That's the
Yeah.
one that we're covering
Yeah.
this week.
Big one.
Oh,
Mhm.
interesting.
Big one in the news. Can't wait until I get to that one for this week. In
Ooh,
Arlington.
Post 9/11.
yeah.
Oh.
Spicy.
Hey,
Real
hey,
spicy.
by the way, guys, I don't know that we said this, but thank you so much for having us on your show, by the way.
Oh,
Oh
heck
yeah,
yeah.
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
we
I was
appreciate it.
actually-
Excited to have you.
For the listeners, we have brought up these fellas in the past because I did guest on the show a few months back. Chris
You did.
had other priorities, I guess.
Baby.
What was
Yeah.
your
Well-
excuse again?
9/11.
Yeah, there you go.
Fantastic. Call
Your
back.
child was being born.
Blame it on the Saudis.
Is that when your baby was being born during that show?
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever I wasn't on, whenever Brad guested, we were
You
in
know-
the hospital.
You know, and I don't know how much this has to do with this, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. We have a show here on the network that is about a doula, right?
Interesting.
I'm still not 100% sure what a doula does, other than like cheerleader.
A doula oblongata.
in the thing. But anyway, when she first started her show, we sent a recorder in with her, and she recorded the entire birth. And then
Whoa, that's wild.
We used that as an episode. So I'm just saying, I think you had a missed opportunity there.
Well, speaking
Yeah.
of doulas, there is going to be some nice dually in this episode later.
Nice.
We got
Good
a
job.
dually live.
yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
that's the type of jokes
Nice.
you get on this show.
Uh,
Let's
Well, it's
get
just
into
a
the segment now.
Great transition.
heck
We
yeah.
always like to start off with a peek at the TV guide. Just kind of like give it a little rundown. A running joke on the show is that I am just trying to turn it into a Simpsons podcast because I'm a huge Simpsons fan.
Sure.
But we have a repeat this week, so I won't bore you. But speaking of 9/11, there is a very classic Simpsons did it on the city of New York City versus Homer Simpson.
Oh, really?
With there's like a newspaper that he holds up that has the two towers on it and the number 9.
Oh man.
Oh,
maybe
is
9.
this one of them? Oh, this is one of those Simpsons
Yes,
did it.
a classic Simpsons did it. Anything standing out here on this night of television to you guys?
I mean, the Flintstones is on up top on ABC.
I guess what would stand out to me would be on the Fox thing there. I would watch The World's Funniest, The Simpsons, King of the Hill. Then the X-Files would come on, and the theme song to X-Files used to give me deep anxiety. So that's about the time I would
Oh,
either
yeah?
leave the room. Yeah, like I don't know
It's
what
just
it
really
was.
bad.
Me too.
It
I
just
was
gave
scared
me
of it.
a deep.
You were scared of the song?
I wasn't really scared of it. It just gave me anxiety. It gave me like a weird anxiety. Like I didn't.
Yeah.
I felt uncomfortable by the noise that the
Oh,
soundtrack
weird.
the soundtrack made. So I would leave the room usually if that's what my parents were watching, and that's when I would go read a book or play video games or something.
I just want to comment on ABC's selection for the ABC Sunday night movie, Holiday in Your Heart. I don't know if you guys remember
That's,
that movie, but
I don't know that one.
Leanne
actually.
Rhymes, right?
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know. I
It's the
don't know
true
anything
story
about
of
it.
Leanne Rhymes.
Are you for real?
I looked it up actually.
Oh my
you
God.
Oh wow, that's funny.
The true story of Lou Ann Rhymes. I was born.
Yeah.
Then I started singing.
She was only like 15
Yeah.
in '97 though, wasn't she?
I don't know. It might have not
Yeah.
been Leanne Rhymes.
I know she was really young when
It
she
was
started. She got famous when she was like 14. Or was that Jewel? I don't know. I think that I feel
I
like they
did
were
look
both
it
like
up.
It
teenagers.
was this guy who owned a Christmas tree farm. His name was Jeff Rhymes. That's what it was. It wasn't. It wasn't
Exactly.
Leanne. It was her
Yeah.
uncle.
And he had a daughter.
So X Files, just real quick, I'm gonna tell you my only claim to fame with X Files is went to a concert in Austin at a place called the Black Cat to see a band called the Flame Trick Subs who do our theme, and right before the place burned down, we went to the last concert there, and who I met there was a guy all blue, tattooed with puzzle pieces all over his face and all over his body.
Interesting.
Honestly, his name was the Enigma. And he was featured on the X Files in a couple episodes.
Oh, that's cool.
Interesting.
So there you go. There's
That's
my,
I
interesting.
will find a picture of him and
And-
put it up
yeah,
on
you
the
should.
screen.
And you're saying the
YouTube
club
viewers.
burnt down shortly
the
after
club
the
burnt.
Enigma
The
was in
club.
there?
The club burnt down like it was about a week later. Yeah.
I wonder if it was an enigma or not. The
Enigma
Riddler all
related.
tatted up. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Enigma.
Um, I will say the WB is continuing again with the All Right Already show, and they're really rough titles
Again
at the
with
end
the
there.
sexual harassment. Yeah, it's been kind of a string of that show having questionable titles
Yeah,
for their
they're-
episodes.
Their titles are always like, again with the marital issues. And you're like, ooh, what is
Again with 9/11.
this? Is the
Yeah.
WB.
Well, this is
shout
about-
out to Flintstones.
This
though.
is about
Yeah.
the time I think that All Right Already solved racism, right? Isn't that about when this happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they're about to solve
then, yeah, they
sexual
solved
harassment.
sexual
with
That's right.
women.
Solve
They-
sexual
well,
Well, I mean,
harassment.
you got to
yeah.
move on to the next problem, whatever it
Crazy
is.
that show doesn't get more credit.
It got a 1.9, by the way. If you
All
look at
right
that, it got a
already.
1.9. That means 3 guys in Omaha watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And they loved it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Moving on, Scream 2 came out in theaters this
Oh,
Friday.
there
Nev
you go.
Campbell.
There you go.
My favorite Scream.
Um,
I think the best of the Scream franchise. In
My favorite Scream is from Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, but Scream. My friend's sister, she was a big Nev Campbell fan. She had like Nev Campbell posters on her walls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's
I was
it.
a big Nev
Is that the
Campbell
end of the
fan.
story?
That's it. Yeah,
that's
that
it.
was it.
I just kept waiting for
Shout out
something else.
Nev.
I was like,
Shout out to
Shout out
Nev.
Jaden
Well,
Smith.
Nev Campbell.
Keep
Well,
my
Nev
wife's
Campbell
name out of
is
your
the
fucking mouth,
woman
son.
that helped her come out of the closet and realize she was gay. So,
Really?
shout out to Nev
Okay,
Campbell.
yeah.
and then Nev
Shout out
Campbell.
to-
Shout out to Nev Campbell for
I feel
being
like there's
such
a
a
couple.
fox.
Hey,
I
Nev.
feel like that's not a similar, unheard of story as Nev Campbell turning ladies.
Sure.
I mean, she turned me
She made
straight.
me
So.
feel stuff when I was a
Yeah.
kid. So did
100%.
Courtney Cox.
Oh, have you seen her face now? There's
Oh,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, nowadays.
What
yeah,
happened,
kind of
lady? Why would you do
unfortunate, but-
that?
Jennifer Aniston still
Her
takes
and-
the cake. She's like 50 and she still looks like she did in like the first season of Friends.
Jennifer.
Nice.
Aniston.
She has come up on the pod several
You guys are
times.
hitting our bingo. You've
Yeah.
already talked about Pokemon. You've talked about
Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston.
Hey, it's the 1990s, man. I'm a kid of the 90s
Yeah,
myself, you know.
baby.
Like he raised
Welcome to
90s
it.
We
kids, and I am a
loved the
90s kid.
Rachel.
So.
Jennifer.
We
can,
all had the Rachel in the 90s,
Jennifer
right?
can do whatever she wants.
Oh yeah,
I'm
the
good.
headlights always on thing. Like I saw an article about that. It was funny because she had just recently posted a picture on Instagram, and then there was an article that was talking about how you could see her nipples in like every episode of Friends.
And that
Yep,
and
that's
that
why
is
I love Friends.
and that's what they talked about on the WB.
Yeah.
Home Alone 3.
And Home Alone 3 came out this week.
The
Coming up on
disappointment.
Christmas. Who the fuck is this kid?
Look at
Where
his
the fuck
face.
is Macaulay
He doesn't even
Culkin?
look like he's
That's what I
excited to
was
be a
thinking
part of the
when this
movie.
came out.
Look,
He looks like his face looks
I'm
like
here.
Home Alone 3, you know, it's
Well,
okay. I guess.
before we started this, and I asked you what your deal was, you said it's a living. Look at his face and repeat that phrase.
very
It's a
much
living.
it's a
You know,
living.
yeah.
It's a living.
Yeah.
It kind of gives me like, I'm sorry that I'm not Macaulay Culkin,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
you get what you
Yeah,
get vibes.
very apologetic
Yeah.
face, like facial structure there, you know.
I
little
thought this
smirk.
was a dog food commercial. Yeah. That
Also,
kind of thing.
very 90s to just continue to do the franchise with
Oh,
the whole
absolutely.
completely different.
Yeah, just replace the kid.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen this, so I'm sure it's like
God, we don't do that
separate from
anymore.
his family. But look how evil the villains in this one look too.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
stepped it up with.
It's like a mob. Instead of just fighting
Yeah.
two homeless dudes, he's now
Well, they
fighting
killed
like
the kid.
4
Yeah.
organized criminals.
Yeah, they actually slit his throat at the end of the movie.
The kid from
Yeah,
Home
they
Alone
look
3?
like they have silencers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's why
That's
he
all I'm
looks
going
like
to say.
that.
Good.
That's actually the look of fear of death.
That's
He says,
crazy.
"When are you gonna know?
He's like, I'm bleeding out.
Who is that again? What child actor is this?
No one knows.
Nobody
No one ever heard
knows.
from
This
him
guy
again.
sells insurance at this
Moving
point.
on.
Hey, I know her.
We've talked about this a lot. "Candle in the Wind" has been the #1 song in the country for fucking half the year,
Sure,
guys.
sure.
I
And
actually,
it's still #1 in December.
And think about this just real quick. Sorry, Rusty, I didn't
No,
mean
you're
to
good.
step on you, but think about this. That's a song that he just retreaded.
yeah, he did. It was a retread.
You know, it was
Mm-hmm.
when you
Yeah.
think about this song, nobody ever brings up the fact that it was a song already, and he just redid it for this.
he
dead,
just changed
for
the
a dead
name.
lady.
Yeah, he changed the name because he was personal friends with her. This was actually I'm British national, so I was.
You can
know,
hear it, can't you?
Obviously,
You can hear it, yeah.
You can tell in my voice. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night with my mom and sitting there and watching the entire funeral run of Princess Diana.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah,
It was a big deal.
it was
I
huge.
thought you were about to say you woke up in the night because you could feel it. Like you
I could
just-
feel it. Yeah, I was like sweating out.
You
I was
about
like
He knew what happened.
screaming her
Diana
name and
her
reaching for
lover.
the ceiling. Diana, no.
the People's
No!
Princess.
Well, anyway, if you were around and had the radio on at this time, you were probably hearing this bop. #2 song in the country was also an Elton John song that was like the B-side of this song. So Elton was killing
The
it
number
this
2
time.
song was a B-side of "Candle in the Wind."
Yes.
Wow, it was.
Shout
but-
out to
yes.
Jeez.
Well, the thing they don't mention is it was for the paparazzi.
Exactly.
It was really
Mhm.
weird. It was like, the Diana song on one side, the paparazzi song on the other side. Hey, all these can't be jewels, gentlemen. So that's just the way
No,
it goes.
no, that's good.
No, that was gold.
That's a finer. The paparazzi bit is a finer point of the Princess Diana story that I don't think we've really explained on this podcast, and our younger listeners. are
Yeah,
gonna
we
be
should-
like, what
let's-
the hell
let's-
are they talking
know.
about?
Yeah, let's spend
No,
about
let's leave 'em.
45 minutes and let's go into that.
Yeah.
Would you?
Let's leave them in the
This
dark.
is now the Princess Diana show.
It was
Go
the
listen
firm.
to the
They
Princess
took her out.
Diana podcast about it. Our sister pod.
It was also a pretty big night in Phoenix. I don't know how tuned in you guys are to records for the Phoenix Coyotes, the now defunct NHL franchise.
The
but
Utah
Garner's
Coyotes,
scored is
thank you very much.
700. Yes, now going to be the Salt Lake City Soakers.
Is that what they
I
are?
believe is what
The
Super
Soakers?
Soakers, actually.
Salt Lake
The-
City
the
Soakers. That's a good
Stormin'
joke.
Mormons.
That's good. That's funny.
I wish they would just embrace their Mormonism as far as naming these teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there is no
The
jazz.
Elders.
There's zero jazz in Utah. Number one, there's none.
It should be the Utah
can't-
Bumblebees.
You can't find jazz, and I have never seen a whiter audience. I mean, that is the whitest audience there is. Just embrace it, guys. You know,
I don't know why they don't lean into like
the magic
high
underwear
thing,
or
because
something
they have
like
on
Yeah,
all
do
the
you think
road
they're gonna make
signs.
them wear it under the uniforms?
yes, I do. I absolutely do.
The Mormon underpants.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Well, I mean, you got to wear it if you're running for president. Certainly, you got to wear it if you're playing hockey.
Mhm,
Yeah.
If you're
That's a good point.
getting your teeth knocked out, yeah.
Yeah, for the Lord.
But it was a big night in Phoenix on this night. 700 goals, nothing to scoff at, bud.
There you
That's
go.
a lot.
That's a lot of
Canadian
scores.
in
Yeah.
there.
It's a lot in one night.
It was also James Comey's 37th birthday.
God.
Whoa.
Wow.
I bet he looked
And
37 when he was 12.
Is,
Yeah.
is this an
Yeah,
image
for sure.
from that era? Is this like
No,
a
this is
period
not.
correct
this is
image?
Yeah.
this is, I believe, from the testimony that he
Yeah,
did
the
recently.
recent-
in the
Oh, so that's kind of
trial.
recent. Yeah, you can see the
Yeah, I couldn't
bags
find a
underneath his
picture.
eyes. Need somebody to carry.
This is
him.
from his defamation trial.
Yeah.
His defamation trial.
I actually modeled my suit after him.
Ooh.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell.
It's
Yeah,
an original-
cosplay.
it's an
a
original
James Comey
Comey.
cosplay.
Comey inspired.
The Comey cast.
The
The Lakers
over.
also rocked the Mavericks. Shout
Oh,
out Texas.
Yeah.
Kobe dropped 30 on him.
We got
Good.
we got a real big Mavs fan here.
Nope, not at all, not at all. Big Spurs fan, so I'm glad to see the Mavs lose, even if we have to go back in time to see it.
Yeah.
Victor Wembanyama.
You got it, baby.
My boy
But
D
big
Fish
night
putting up some
for the
respectable
Lakers.
numbers.
Derek
It was
Fisher,
still
is that who you're
Chicago
talking
wins.
about?
Yeah, I'm a Thunder
Derek
player. I like-
Fisher was
Oh,
7-7 and
man.
5. That's
We
really
got-
And
good.
Kobe
we
put
had
up
Derek
30.
Fisher at the end of his career.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was around the time where Kobe started to really pick it up. Obviously, it was still the Bulls league.
Yeah,
in
sure.
97.
Sure.
Coming up on the Kobe Shaq dominance.
I've always hated the Lakers, will always hate the Lakers. Never been
As
big
a Spurs fan, I feel like you have to hate
Well,
the Lakers.
it's just the attitude. I just don't like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand it.
They need a good talking to.
yeah. We're Oklahoma City and Toronto guys.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
So
Exciting stuff.
so you got
right now, yeah.
you got the rent a Kawhi, and then you got the
Yeah.
the Southern Sonics. So that's good.
No, I root for all Texas teams. I don't really watch any of the basketball or anything like that, but I root for all Texas teams. But it's the Dallas Stars and the Houston Texans. Those are my two
Oh yeah,
sports
I
teams.
used to be a Dallas Stars season ticket holder, baby.
Oh
Mike
yeah.
Madonna, yeah.
Mike Modano, I've got a jersey in the closet. Marty Turco.
We had
Yeah.
we had a minor league hockey team here in Waco
Yeah, we
at one
did.
time called the Waco Wizards, right? Which
That's amazing.
great name, good alliteration, good stuff. But at the
Waco Wizards.
Waco Wizards. At the time, I was with that IT company, right? And so we were a big sponsor, so I got to go out on the ice and shoot the T-shirt cannon every game.
Oh,
that's
hell
awesome.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's a
that's
dream of
so
mine.
dope.
yeah, that's
That is a bucket list.
that
Did you
is a
target-
bucket list. You're exactly
Did
right.
you target people with it?
Oh,
Like,
fuck yeah.
try
Why
to,
wouldn't
like-
you? Yeah.
Try to like peg a kid.
I'm gonna hit him right in his neck.
Here's a free shirt, old lady. Yeah.
That's back to The Simpsons. That's how Maud Flanders died.
There it
yeah,
is.
exactly. She got blown off the top of
This
the
is
bleachers. Yeah.
Hit with a T-shirt cannon and fell out of the stadium.
all of it's so serendipitous.
Wrapping it up here, this night was the premiere of Titanic at the Chinese Theater in
You
Los
know,
Angeles.
Yeah, Gromans.
Not to interrupt you, but it's kind of crazy you mentioned the Titanic premiere because rest in peace to the captain, the actor
that's
who
right.
plays the
He just
captain,
died.
just passed away this morning. I think it was today or last night
really?
that they announced his
No
death this
way.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
was
Ironic part of it, he drowned.
Who is that? I haven't.
I can't think of his name. He was also in Lord of the Rings too. He was in Lord of the Rings as the
Gandalf's cousin.
Ian McKellen.
No, I can't remember.
Yeah,
What,
it was Ian McCullen.
Bernard
no.
Hill.
yeah. But I can't remember his
Hill,
name.
look
Wait,
it
his
up
last
there.
name was
I
Hill?
did. Yes,
Oh!
Bernard Hill.
See, it's all.
God, man.
It's like we're in.
We're Inception right
Yeah,
now. Yeah,
yeah.
we're in the middle of
There's
there's
layers.
layers.
Oh, wow, I
We're in the
didn't know
middle
this
of an
yet. He
onion
plays-
right now.
Yeah, he's Theoden from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Theoden. I couldn't
Holy
remember his name.
shit.
Yeah, he's like the guy that's like gives this super inspirational speech before they like charge off into battle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ride!
So
Ride to your ruin!
There's
The
Yeah.
world's ending!
there's 4 of us here. Who has seen Lord of the Rings? All of them? Raise your hand.
Oh, I've seen it
Yes.
probably 15 times,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the extended
yeah,
version
too.
at least
I have
4.
seen it 0
Yeah.
times.
Really?
I have never seen Lord of the Rings.
I really thought you had seen it because I've never seen it either.
Nah, I've not
I've
seen
seen.
Lord of the
You guys
Rings.
have both never
So,
seen Lord of the
I like
Rings.
Well,
weird stuff.
here's the
It's
thing.
not weird enough for me. It's like
Cut
a
the stream. Cut the stream.
Lord of the
Weird
Rings.
stuff.
Lord of the Rings for me is a 10-minute at a time watch because my wife has it on in the background. That's what Lord of the Rings is. for me.
If it was
That,
fully
Harry
animated.
Potter, all of those. I don't know. I could never do it.
I like animation, so if it's fully animated, I probably would have watched it. Like I watched nothing but cartoons, so if it was
Now,
a cartoon, I
There is
probably
an
would have seen it.
animated version
Yes.
of The Hobbit.
Ralph
I've seen The
Bakshi.
Hobbit. I've
School
seen that.
animated
We watched
ones.
that in school with
Ralph,
the book. We
Ralph
did the
Bakshi.
book.
Yeah, Ralph Bakshi did that, and same guy who did Fritz the Cat.
Yeah.
but he did a Lord of the Rings
Oh.
and the Hobbit.
Well, I don't know about the Lord of the Rings animated one, but for sure the Hobbit one. We did the book movie comparison in high school, so I remember that one.
He just held them up in front of people. And
That was
said,
it.
Look,
Just
this
say,
a
is
book,
this
a
is this
movie."
one similar to this?
This
one?
is
Yeah.
a book.
This is a book, kids.
VHS.
Pictures.
Highly recommend Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
and highly recommend.
It's really going out on a.
We just-
It's going out
we
on a
just
limb
skipped.
there. Really highly recommend.
I'll have to watch it an
biggest-
hour at a
Skipped over the
time.
Titanic.
Yeah,
Well, it premiered. That's all we got to know, right?
It's
Yeah,
huge.
you
It was
folks
huge.
Leo was there.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Celine Dion was there.
You could see a
Canadian
booby
legend.
if you were a young lad in that movie.
A booby, yeah.
You could
Yeah,
see a
that's
booby.
true.
I
That's
remember
true.
seeing that movie in the drive-in theater.
Ooh,
Yeah, I don't remember seeing that movie
After
until it
Sleep
came out
Runs.
on double VHS,
harder to hide
Oh,
your
the
boner
double
at a
It's a double
drive-in.
VHS.
and it would always piss me
Well, if
off.
you're in the back seat, you
Yeah.
got a blanket.
Well,
you know,
I'm just saying,
you can bone
chances are, like, it's 97. So how old were you guys?
I would have been 6.
I would
Yeah.
have been
Yeah, I'm
about
s-
to turn 4.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I
That was
7.
that was unneeded sexual innuendo for a child. Then I didn't mean to say that,
Yeah.
that a 6-year-old had a boner in the backseat. Sorry.
Yeah.
you never know, right?
True.
I didn't
Gotta
actually
come out
view
of
it
nowhere.
until much later.
You flowered young. You were.
Yes. I am a
To
blossoming
Leonardo
little boy.
DiCaprio.
Leo on my nardos. Should we get into the episode, Chris?
Yes, please. Because we still got a lot to talk about. There's a lot of good 90s stuff still going on here, folks. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
season 2, episode 10, Bobby Slam. Your blurb for this episode is Bobby joins the wrestling team, is caught in a dilemma when he has to fight Connie in order to make the team.
Boom, boom.
Wow.
This one is directed by Wes Archer, of course, and is also directed by Chris Muller, who is involved in a good number of King of the Hill episodes. But this is also the guy who created Tripping the Rift.
Oh
Do you remember that
no!
show from the late '90s to 2000s or early 2000s?
I remember when he played for the Golden State Warriors. Chris
Ah.
Muller. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's great.
Brad, do you remember Tripping the Rift at all?
I have no idea what that is.
Oh man, Tripping the Rift was kind of like a proto Futurama, kind of like takes place in space. It's real, kind of like semi-smutty. It's got a cast of different alien characters. You would recognize the visuals if you pulled it up, I bet. But it's
Who
like,
did it?
Chris Muller's in it, a couple other big actors in it.
Because I
Notably
remember the name. I
Stephen
just-
Root.
Oh, Stephen Root was in it. That's
Stephen Root plays the main alien, Chode.
Okay.
He's the
Chode.
main alien. His name is Chode.
subtle.
He's got 3
What?
eyes. Brad, put a picture up on the screen here at
Oh,
this
there
point.
will be multiple
Yeah.
photos on the screen.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You'll remember it when you
This
see
looks
it.
insane. There's so many boobies and
Yeah, there's a 3-boobed lady and a lizard. Yeah, you'll remember when you see it. But Maurice
insane.
LaMarche is also in this show, and he's voiced a couple
Shout
actors
out.
on King of the Hill. Yeah.
Shout out.
So yeah, he's directing that. Chris Muller, shout out to Tripping the Rift. Written, of course, by Judge Daniels, and then the writer on this one is going to be Gina
Recording
Fattore.
stopped.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Oh no.
Your recording
My
stopped.
know.
disk space is full. Let me go grab my hard drive.
All right, you got it.
Yeah, no, you're
Oh
good.
no! Okay, guys, look up while Brad is gone. Look up that show, Tripping the Rift. I'm surprised you guys
Let's
don't
look up
remember this.
Tripping
It's
the Rift.
it's a fever dream of a show.
Like I say, I remember the name, but I don't know that I ever
Oh hell yeah, it's a fever dream. That is like yeah, no, I recognize that. It's like it's that early CGI
shit, I do
animation,
remember
kind of
that.
like Reboot, the TV show Reboot. I don't know if you
Yeah.
know, and
Yes.
like Beast Wars Transformers, like the first two CGI
Mhm.
cartoons. That's what it reminds me of. That kind of animation
It's
stuff.
it's a 3D rendered porn parody that just happened to be on TV.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Uh-huh. And the main character's name is Chode. And it's
Chode.
Stephen.
Yeah, I'm definitely
Yeah.
gonna watch that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I've never
Yeah.
heard that. Like I'm really big into animation, so like to catch me off guard with an animated something is pretty tough. So
Well, the guy that
that's
dir-
different.
Well,
the guy that
it was
dir-
like 4 seasons.
yeah, the guy that directed this also, it looks like he directed Heavy Metal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the 1981 movie Heavy Metal. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that.
Yep.
But it was a big deal
Yes.
in my childhood. And then he also directed A Year of Doug.
A Year of Doug. That's random.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
that's
There
like
you
that needs its own podcast. That's a
Doug does?
all-time classic.
Or
Yeah, I
just
love
that one
Doug.
year?
We need to do like
Dougcast.
a psychological
Just a
analysis of
year.
Doug.
98 to 99, that's all we cover.
What about Fish Police?
Just
Have you ever
one-
heard of
just
Fish
the
Police?
season that Chris Muller does.
That's right.
Fish Police? No.
Okay, so it came out around this time of The Simpsons, and the goal
Maybe I
of the
have.
show was to John Ritter is the main character. He plays the voice of the main character. So the
Okay,
premise of the
yeah, he's
show
been
was
on here,
to
I know John
like
Ritter.
compete with The Simpsons, like adult animated, but it's like a fish detective. And one of the first lines in the show, it kills me every time I hear it. He goes, "I'm a carp. Who's a cop?"
My God.
I don't know. It's just hilarious. The writing is really good. It's got solid writing in it. And it's got an all-star cast. Like Tim Cook, I think, is in there too somewhere.
Wait,
Interesting.
you said Tim Cook earlier. Or do you mean Tim
I'm
Cook?
gonna
No,
have to
I
write
don't mean
Fish
Tim Cook. I
'Cause
mean
that's the
Tim
Apple
Curry.
guy. Tim
I mean
Curry.
Tim
There we
Curry,
go.
not Tim Cook. I keep saying Tim Cook.
He has Tim blindness in his brain.
He plays
Oh
like
my gosh.
a loan shark or something, I think, inside of the show.
Yeah.
But it's a great show.
There's also like a babe fish on here too.
Babe fish.
Yeah, it's funny.
I'm
It's
looking at the
it's
shit.
only
Looks
one
sexy
season,
as
but
hell.
it's like I wish they would have kept going with that. At least I wish I had like 2 or 3 seasons of it. That would have been great, but
I really love to dive into like the writer, director, guest star shit on this, and there's so many connections in the show. It's ridiculous.
yeah. That's what we
Recording
were
in
just doing.
progress.
We have an Adult Swim podcast that we just started,
Yeah.
and we were we always attach things because we did a David Letterman podcast. That's how we like first started podcasting. So we always try like we're
Interesting.
looking at connections. We see the connections to like the David Letterman show, and then we see the connections to things that are Adult Swim related, and then the connections to things that are King of the Hill related.
Do you know all the people
Yeah.
that were in this damn fish show?
It's an
I mean, we're
all-star
talking
cast.
we're talking Ed Asner, Tim Curry,
Yeah.
Hector Elizondo, Robert Guillaume, Buddy
was-
Hackett,
It was right at the end of all of their relevancy. So like they threw all this all-star cast together. and it
Jonathan
flopped.
Winters.
Yeah.
Wow. This is crazy.
Oh, Phil Hartman. Phil
viewers-
Hartman was on it.
Yeah.
Viewers, listeners, we're back from our technical
Hey, guys.
difficulty, and we're chatting
There we
about
go.
a show called Fish
Yes.
Police.
We
We
missed
are
you.
recording again. Sorry about that,
Fish
y'all.
cops.
Don Knotts.
Yeah, check
Don Knotts is a voice on this
Yep,
show.
he is. It was like I said, it was an all-star voice cast.
Fucking Don
It was an
Knotts.
all-star voice
Dom's
cast.
nuts.
Dom's nuts. You got it.
That's hilarious. Yeah, Fish Police.
Fish Police.
Yeah, check out Tripping the Rift. Check out Fish Police. A writer on this episode, back into it, Gina Fattore. Gina Fattore wrote on Californication.
Ah, that's good.
She
show.
also wrote on Gilmore Girls
Great show.
as well. So
That's a
Star-
good
That's
show.
a
They just
writer.
talk too fast.
Stars Hollow forever, baby.
yeah, they do talk really fast.
They have
That's
to have
kind
the
of
most
a-
words per
I
minute
love
of a
that stuff.
sitcom.
I love that 40s kind of feel. Like, what's up, buddy?
Yeah.
I don't know, Kyle. Where you going, buddy?
Yeah.
You know,
Have
that
you
kind
watched Marvelous Mrs. Maisel then?
I have not. No, I've heard that
Oh.
it's about
I
the same.
haven't
Okay.
either.
Yeah, it is. It's good. Shout out.
Yeah, I should watch
But
that.
yeah, let's get into the episode.
Let's start the episode.
Yes, this one opens up.
Sorry.
Finally, nephews. No, it's been good. We got a lot done here. Yes,
Oh,
we
yeah,
call
that's
them
our
nephews.
fans, 'cause the only person who listens to this show is Chris's 6-year-old.
Oh, yeah?
5, 6, I
Five.
don't know.
Yeah,
I
shout
bet.
out Ben.
Just in time to get a boner. Sorry.
Yes.
There's
Don't watch Titanic.
nothing
man.
better than a
Don't.
great callback, though, guys. Come on.
Kyle, don't let him watch Titanic.
Mm.
Excellent. Shout
So
out
good.
Ben.
Hey Ben,
Yes.
do your homework.
This episode opens up with Bobby and Connie playing a pro wrestling video game. Very fun.
Oh yeah.
Mrs. Supernusempone calls and asks if Connie is over there and doing her homework, and Peggy makes a fun joke to herself and says that they're wrestling with some word problems. Very fun. She's just like,
wordplay.
"Oh, Peggy."
She's the best.
But professional wrestling is going to kind of be one of the main themes of this episode here. We get the origin of a meme right here in the beginning of the episode. Did you guys catch this, for you King of the Hill meme heads? In the
No.
beginning scene, where Bobby holds the sign up to the window and Connie responds with
Oh,
the
If those
computer
kids wish they
monitor.
could read, yeah, if those kids could read meme,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh no, that's
Wait,
a different episode. This is Bobby and Connie doing it.
Okay.
There's multiple Bobby holding up sign memes.
There's the one where if those kids could read, they'd be very upset one, and then
Yeah.
there's the one where Bobby will. I'll send you guys an example later on. It's
Yeah,
it's,
Put it up on the screen.
yeah, there's a little meme origin alert there, but they're playing video games. They have to get separated. Peggy gets woken up at 5:40 in the morning with an urgent
emergency
call,
substitute teacher call.
Mhm.
emergency sub
So
call.
funny.
Hey, I'll tell you this. I've been on the end of that call. I've gotten
Were you
those
a
calls.
sub?
I was a sub for a couple of years.
too.
Yeah. Really?
I used to sub as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, you get those calls.
I'm a dom.
You. That's good stuff.
Oh, God.
Very nice. Man, you threw me off, and that's hard to do. That's great. You would get those calls at like 5 a.m. and they're like,
Yeah.
Mrs. Johnson killed herself last night. Could you come sub on this class or whatever? I went into one
You
time.
finally did it.
Did she leave alone
I went in one time
for the
and
class? For the class.
I was called one time by this. It's like I don't know, whatever you call those schools that don't have to be like other schools. And so
Charter school.
there you go. See, you knew what I was saying.
I used to teach at one.
yeah.
They're the worst.
They really are. I went in and it was 5th grade. And so they didn't change rooms, like they were in that room the whole day kind of thing.
Mhm.
And so I went in and they just told me, okay, you need to get in there. Don't care what you teach today, because their teacher left screaming. So apparently she had a breakdown of some kind.
Oh wow.
Left-
Common. Yeah,
left
common.
just screaming, and there was just papers everywhere all over the desk, crap piled in corners, all kinds of stuff. So this wasn't like a slow break. This wasn't a fast break. She was slowly breaking over time here, and then finally she just
It was
walked
the
out.
scene of the crime.
I stuck with those kids for the rest of the year. And because
you.
it was no, it was just a job. But because it was
I don't care about those.
I don't care about those kids. But because it was it was a charter school or whatever you call it. It was in an old grocery store, and their playground was the alley. So
That's awesome.
That's wild.
Those kids
That's crazy.
they were super prepared for the future.
Hell
And
yeah.
you just put on Titanic and said, "Hey,
You got it.
Harmony?
You got it.
Your
This
body.
is a movie. This is a book.
First one. That's right.
Yeah.
This is a movie. This is a book. This is Titanic. Sit down.
Yeah. Peggy's going to get called in to sub for girls' gym. She asks if they left a lesson plan, and the person on the phone says, "We kind of forgot to hire
There
a
it
girls' gym
is.
teacher."
Yeah. I
Very,
love that Hank, when he finds out about it in the morning, just completely disregards it. He
Mhm.
gets excited. He's like, "That's a real class." And then
Where are you
finds out
stationed
it's
at
girls'
today?
gym.
He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, do I have any clean shirts?" The whole women's sports not being important punchline to this episode is very, very 90s sitcom. Yeah, this is not the first time we've seen this type of storyline, but yeah, Peggy's getting called in to do women's gym. Hank does not care once he finds out it's girls' gym. They're starting their gym class with like a presentation of what sports they should do.
Yeah, was this
Which was
a
a
thing
little weird.
for you guys
What's up?
in school? Like having to choose which sport you do in gym? This was
Nah.
completely foreign.
There wasn't nothing like
Yeah.
that for PE class for us, because I didn't really do like athletics. So just regular PE was you're either going to walk or you're going to run, or you're going to do whatever the chosen activity is. So if the activity that day was basketball, whether you played basketball or not, you're playing basketball that day, or whatever the activity was.
The only reference I have for that is I did sub for Jim one time.
Okay.
And we just played with the parachute for a while. You know, the parachute that
that
everybody
sounds
would
fun.
grab and go up and then go underneath and go
Yeah,
up. And
yeah,
go
yeah. We did that.
And then
We
you had
did that
those
in like
little
kindergarten.
things with
though.
the wheels where you
Ooh,
run
yeah.
over people's fingers.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Remember those?
Those little scooty boards.
Yeah.
I think
Hell
that was American Universal. I think anybody that went to like an American public school has.
We had those in Canada too.
Oh, y'all had that in
see.
Canada? Well, yeah,
we
North
played
America
a lot of
Light.
floor
Yeah.
hockey and curling too, bud.
Yeah, we didn't have
Curling,
that.
human
We didn't have
curling.
that.
Well, in the gym here, the kids are going to be given options of what sports they want to do. The basketball coach thinks you should try basketball because you get to bounce a ball. The wrestling
Bounce a ball
coach,
in hockey, that's a mandatory drug test right there.
Right. You got-
yeah, I thought that was
That's a
pretty
good
funny.
one. Good job.
The wrestling coach says essentially that everybody makes the team and you get to wear a jacket.
And Bobby's excited about the silver piping. On
He's
this
like,
shirt.
ooh, silver piping. Yeah.
Fashion name.
So we cut over to the mat, and they're passing out, the headgear, the ear pads, and the coach is going to do a demonstration, and he asks the kid to come up and go at him, and then he just absolutely blocks this kid, and then kind of goes into this rage mode, and he says, "That'll teach you to pull a knife on me."
Seems to have a bit of trauma there.
To this kid, and the kid's like, "What?" He's like, "What are you hopping around for, Hoppy?"
Hopping around Hoppy.
It's very funny. The coach just has that. Yeah, he speaks like this the entire time.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, who's the voice actor for the coach here?
Oh man, I didn't look that up.
Wow.
the guy-
Oh no.
Wow.
It's the guy that played
Chris.
Gandalf.
I know.
What was
Yeah,
it?
Brandon.
What was the coach's name?
Oh gosh, I don't even recall.
Coach Ball.
Is it Coach Kleehammer?
Put it up.
Yes, it's Clay
Yes.
Yeah, Coach Kleehammer is voiced, I think, by Toby Huss. He's the one who does the voice for Sufanusum.
Yeah.
He's the one
That's
that
what
always. Anytime
Okay.
somebody has a voice
This is
like,
the debut.
"Oh, that's gotta hurt," it's always Toby.
Yeah, Toby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Confirmed. Toby Huss.
Toby Huss. Nice. Thanks, guys. That's why we had the experts
Yeah,
on.
Hey, man.
that's
That's
why we
it.
bring
We
experts.
played the part
We
of
have our
Wikipedia
misses.
in this episode.
Yeah.
The girls just have a real crappy ball though. That's bouncing around all weird, and they have to blow it up to pass it around.
General sports.
We cut to the alleyway, and starting off with a real funny small talk conversation between the guys. They're saying, so and so's decided to patch his driveway, and they're like, "Where'd he get his asphalt?" Dale's like, "Johnson's," and Hank like almost spits out his beer. I just thought it was really
Well, I just love the fact that there's a
Mid-conversation.
bad asphalt dealer.
yeah
Yeah.
Yeah.
Low quality.
Deep lore.
yeah very very funny.
He's on that
small
mid
joke.
pack. Yeah, that mid asphalt pack.
He's got the cheap rocks. So Bobby pedals up. He's really excited. He tells the guys that he made the wrestling team, and Hank is super excited. He's like, "Heck yeah, Bobby, that's a real sport."
Proud for the first time.
He's like, "That's an Olympic sport." And then he's like, "Wait, this isn't something some guy in a van with a camcorder is doing, right?"
That's good stuff right
Yeah,
there.
that's funny. Very 90s.
He's
Stranger
not gonna let you
Danger
watch
90s.
Titanic,
Yeah.
is he?
Yeah. Yeah, he wants to take me to the drive-in to watch Titanic.
Get in the back of the van, Bobby. Rose is in there. It's fine.
Paint me like one of your French girls.
So we cut back to the school. Peggy is fed up. She's going to go ask Principal Moss for a new ball, and this is where we get our Dooley content for the episode. So Dooley is sitting outside the principal's office, and he got in trouble because he peed in some kid's locker.
Yeah. Waiting to see the principal. Absolute legend. We love Dooley. on
Julie's the
this show.
best. Yeah.
Yeah, we like Dooley too.
Yeah. So,
Your
Peggy
mom
says
is
she's
dead.
yeah. Your mom died. Your wife left you.
That's
Your wife
right.
But Dooley's going to get another line in here. We just get 2 lines from him, but Peggy, says she's here to get a new basketball. Peggy walks out of the office disappointed, and Dooley says, "Girls' sports are a joke." Classic 90s.
Biting commentary.
Late 90s joke. Yeah. And
I wouldn't even say late '90s joke. A lot of people make those jokes today. As
boy,
well.
you know.
Yeah, I think the
actually,
tide's
there's
about to
something
turn though with old Caitlin Clark. I think she's the
Mhm.
changing the tide for the
When
WNBA.
the PWHL is
PWHL.
selling out arenas.
What the hell
the
is
new
that?
Professional women's hockey league.
Really?
Oh wow.
Yep. They
Huh.
have sold out They've sold out 6 separate NHL arenas.
Okay, so it's not like that whole women's football and lingerie thing, is it?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No.
Okay,
it's
thank
not one of
God.
those.
Thank God.
Although, would watch.
Well, it'd just be. I mean, you're talking about.
Well, I would not watch
getting
it.
people's
I'll
attention.
say it that way. I would not watch it.
Yeah, it's cold in here. I can't help it.
Rachel.
Thank you.
So we cut back home, and Hank is excitedly talking to Peggy about making the sports team. And Hank says that he can rearrange his schedule to make all of Bobby's practices, which is like Hank's really excited for
But
Bobby to be on the
But
wrestling
that also
team.
means he's never tried before. To make it to anything that Bobby had.
Bobby hasn't
Yes.
had anything.
That's
to go
right.
to.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we see him playing baseball in the very first pilot episode, but
yeah.
that's like the last sport that we've seen him play up until this sport.
You
Up to
guys,
that point,
you
yeah,
guys haven't
baseball's
gotten to
it.
the soccer episode yet, right?
No.
Okay. All right.
I'm not even aware of
No
this.
spoilers. Don't spoil it
I
for
don't
the
know
nephews.
anything about the show.
It's not a sport
Uh,
anyway, officially, according to Hank Hill.
What the?
Mhm.
Yes.
Do they play soccer in
According
Canada?
to us.
Do they play soccer in Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, it's not as popular as some other sports.
Sure.
Do they call it
Like
football
curling.
also?
Like
Yeah,
curling.
it's generally
Yeah,
a
like
frozen
curling.
rock. They're kicking
Is
around.
curling's like
Yeah.
super? Is it? And I'm sorry. Is curling like? Is it very popular?
Yeah, it is.
Huh.
There was a curling club like in my neighborhood. We would go like semi-frequently, and we would go. Our school had a team, and
Really?
we would go like.
Wow.
as
Can
a
you
school.
make a career out of curling? Could you become a millionaire from curling? Is there like a professional curling league?
Thousandaire?
You could do it. You could do
Thousandaire.
Thousandaire.
Canadian.
$50,000 a year to
Canadian
curl? I'll do
around
it.
like 15 grand.
Yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, with the exchange rate, it could be $1 million.
I'll push
Sure.
the broom. I'll be the broom pusher.
Yeah, the
Do they
skip.
call? Do they
The
call
skip.
people who
That's what they're
curl
called. The skip.
girlies?
I just call him
Well,
the broom
skip
guy.
is like the guy who's like kind of anchoring.
So it's like skipper, right?
Yeah, he's
Is
the guy
that-
that's like.
what that's called?
Yeah, I've seen him doing it.
Well, yeah,
Like
those
it's
are
fun to
the-
watch. I don't know what's
those are
going
the
on, but it's
skip
exciting.
girls. Yeah,
Welcome back to our curling pod, guys.
yeah.
Um,
We'll have you guys up to
Move
Portland. We'll
that
go curling.
puck.
curl. Peggy is going to ask Hank, what if Bobby was a girl? To which Hank replies, well, that's just the thing. I don't think we have to worry about that anymore.
That's solid information.
Which was a very, very funny line.
Yeah, and Peggy also brings up that she's like trying to get some budget for the
Mhm.
girls' gym, and the budget is going to put holograms on the football tickets instead. And Hank is very obviously pro hologram.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a lot of sick people out there,
That's right.
he says, that
Yeah.
are going to counterfeit tickets to
Counterfeit
Tom Landry
high
Middle School.
football.
And this is another one of those great excuses for why there's no funding from Principal Moss, which is kind of his like joke all the time. In the Halloween episode, he said, there's no budget because we lost it fighting wheelchair ramps and left-handed sisters. And now it's to put holograms on tickets. So like that's kind of his thing, is there's no
Fighting.
funds because they've spent it on some ridiculous shit.
Fighting. with
Which is
their
true.
rings.
I imagine that happens fairly often inside of school.
Oh, as somebody who's been in education, I can tell you that happens all the time. That is not a joke. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we hate wheelchair ramps.
No, they
And
hate
And
left-handed
wheelchairs.
left-handed people.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to get a unique Peggy flashback here to Peggy wanting to join the baseball team. She walks up to the plate and absolutely goes yard. Brushes a big home run here in this flashback. And the coach is like, can you run as well as you can hit? And she's like, yes, sir, I can. And he's like, well, run to the store and get us some soda pop.
Yeah, awful. It's awful. She's hitting
Yeah.
the ball better. She's catching it better. She throws harder. But since she's a woman, she could go ahead and go make some sandwiches and get us some sodas. Yeah, that's so
Yes.
funny.
Yeah, that's that 90s level misogyny, sports related misogyny, just 90s misogyny in general. But
Yeah, you can't talk about the '90s without a little bit of misogyny.
Thank
you
God
know,
we
dust
fixed
in
that.
there.
Mhm.
Yeah, we solved
Yes.
it all.
Yep.
I actually think All Right Already has an episode
Yeah.
of
That's exactly right.
probably right.
You
Yeah.
got it.
again with the Title IX.
Ooh, that's right. Yeah.
Discovering
Yes.
sexism.
Hank, after we come out of this flashback, Hank, all he has to say is, well, boys love sody pop. Very funny, but
Super supportive from my guy Hank.
Hank is going to walk in and pass down a cherished family heirloom to Bobby. He's going to pass down this steel cup. He says it was mine, and before that, it was your grandfather's. Bobby really gets Hank on this, and he's like, Dad, there's holes in it. How am I supposed to drink out of this?
Ooh.
Whoa.
Hank immediately bites on it and just, starts to explain to Bobby what it's for. And Bobby says, gotcha.
Gotcha. Just proceeds to stuff it into his tidy whities. I love that Bobby was just standing in front of the mirror.
He's flexing in the mirror. Yeah.
I love that it's a hand-me-down.
Yeah, I think that's funny.
Yeah.
Your dad's
This
balls
was a
were
very
sweated
funny
in it,
scene.
and now your balls will sweat too.
Your grandpa's balls. Yeah.
And someday your son's balls.
Did any of you guys wrestle
No.
at all?
No, we didn't have wrestling.
No?
Wrestling wasn't really big down here.
There's no
Yeah,
wrestling.
there's
in
no
Texas.
wrestling.
Yeah, we don't allow it.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
no
there
wrestling
is,
in
but
Texas at all.
we're not
Somewhere.
If you're in like the
Really?
Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, like major cities, I'm sure have wrestling, but we're too. I went to like a school. I graduated with like 200 people, so it wouldn't
My
have been a
graduating
school.
class had like 50, I think.
Football is king. If they can't afford other
Yeah.
sports, football is going to be the only sport that's available.
The class I
Okay.
was supposed to graduate in had 36.
36.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty small.
Interesting.
We also-
supposed to graduate in.
Well,
That's
we-
coming up soon, right?
Well, I got kicked out twice, but we also we had a it was a Christian school, right? And so we
Oh.
put out the
Can't have boys touching boys.
Sure. We put out the yearbook, and you had a Mr. and Mrs. whatever the name of the school was. They had to recall the yearbook because the missus got pregnant.
Oh no.
Oh.
That is not a joke.
My-
That is actually what happened.
Dang, that's crazy.
So, is there a
Redacted.
contraband yearbook around from that?
There's
year?
got to be, yeah.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a redacted yearbook somewhere. It
Yeah.
just says redacted with her picture covered. Yeah.
They
Yeah,
tore.
that-
Well, they literally tore those 2 pages out and then handed them back to people.
That's
And
crazy.
they replaced it with a birth announcement.
No, they replaced it with a virgin birth announcement.
Yeah, advertisement for formula. Yeah.
Jesus, number 2.
It was
Coming
back
soon.
in-
This time it's
then-
personal.
yeah.
Yeah. Wrestling was a big deal. I wrestled for 2 years. I wrestled 7th and 8th grade in middle school.
Whoa, Chris Lore alert.
Uh-huh.
There we go.
But
Chris
wrestling's a
wrestled?
pretty big deal for my family history. My dad
Did he pass
wrestled in
down
high
his
school.
jock to you?
No.
No, but his mom did.
It
That's
wouldn't-
great.
Yes. Nice.
Sorry.
No, that was good. That was very nice.
It was available. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Just like
no,
your
he wrestled
mom.
in,
Yeah.
He wrestled in college. My grandpa wrestled
Really?
in college. Yeah, both of my brothers did some wrestling. So,
Wow.
yeah, I didn't wrestle past 8th. I didn't wrestle in high school, but I wrestled 2 years in middle school.
How does the family
wow.
cup smell?
Better than you'd think.
So
Yeah, I think my younger brother has it now.
that
I'll have
is
to
one of
track
those
it down.
things that, like he was talking about in Texas. I mean, we didn't really have wrestling. We certainly didn't have curling and things like that.
No.
You know, it's just
Football
it's so
is
foreign
king.
to us. Yeah, it's always
Yeah.
football.
They used to like take away like art programs just
Yep.
so they could fund
Just to
football.
keep football.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there was one point where we were like real bad with football, like terrible, and the next year they cut choir and they cut like 3 art classes and
If you can't hit
put
somebody, you
all
can't
that
sing.
money back into the football program, which it did pay off. They've got like 3 4-state championships like appearances and like 2 wins since I graduated high school, which has been 15 years. But it's still cool that all that
Impressive.
cutting art actually paid off. They got a natty, man. They got a little natty, yeah.
Listeners,
Cut the arts, folks. Cut them
the
out.
arts and win.
Nobody
Cut
needs
them
it.
out.
Yeah, who needs
Um,
crayons?
Yeah, exactly. Wrestling's pretty big in Oklahoma, though. That's a
Okay.
huge thing.
Really?
A lot of,
Has it-
lot of
has-
wrestling.
It's been that way most of your life.
Yeah,
Huh.
that's historically one of
amazing.
Is there a lot of
Oklahoma's
men-on-men activities in Oklahoma? I hear that's a common
Yes.
thing.
Come on.
Yeah,
Go in deeper.
Let's take-
only on the mat. Only
And-
on the mat.
So let me
And
ask
we'll
you
be
this.
right back with a word from Charmin.
Yeah, since you're an Oklahoman, what happens in the little panhandle area of Oklahoma?
Wrestling.
Wrestling.
Panhandle
They're just out there in the middle of the hills, out there
That's
just
right.
wrestling.
Just there are two different things, wrestling and wrestling. You have to understand.
Oh, okay.
That's very true.
Yeah, wrestling's on the mat. wrestling's on a bed.
That's the
Oh my God,
That's-
that's juice, you know?
There you go.
that's the one my youth pastor told me about.
Yeah. I did not get a cup passed down to me, but I did get that shitty wrestling joke passed
There
down
you
to
go.
me.
There you go.
That's good.
Yeah, so Connie is going to approach Bobby after gym here, asking. Oh no, it's in gym, not at the end of school yet. Connie ball rolls over, hits Bobby, just asking how wrestling is going. Bobby's pretty into it. He says, you got it, we lock it. Bobby's like, here, I'll show you some moves. And Bobby's like, this is impossible to get out of. And Connie just slips right out of it. And Bobby is like frazzled by this. And he's like, well, you didn't use real wrestling. Like if you use real wrestling, it's impossible. It's impossible to get out of here.
It's like those self-defense classes when they tell you to like pretend to stab me or something, but you didn't stab me right.
Oh, that guy from
Yeah.
Detroit. Yeah, the guy from Detroit with the weird like slapping your wrist when you put a pistol to your face. That guy.
That
Yeah,
guy's a legend.
yeah, he is. Don't try
So
catching him in an
last
alley.
4
He'll
times.
whoop your ass.
Virtually.
We get our first taste of Connie. Connie here slips out. It's a very, very fun scene, but we end this scene. Let's see here. Peggy is going to get into a fight with the wrestling coach and the athletic director about funding here. They're going to have some funny lines about, well, Doug can back me up on this and Doug can back me up on that. But it ends with the girls being marched out of the gym. I think the wrestling coach wants the entire gym. Peggy tries to say, no, I need the gym too, and all the girls get kicked out. Connie suggests that maybe she should do yearbook, and this really sets Peggy off. She calls yearbook a squalid waste of time.
Shameful, squalid waste of time.
And, it could be a shameful class if, I guess you have to rip pages out.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Redactor.
Issue redaction.
That's good journalism, folks.
When
Teach
I-
those kids that.
My junior year, I was on the whatever you call it, yearbook squad, yearbook team, yearbook staff, whatever. That was the worst class. I mean, there was nothing really to do. You come in like halfway through the year and you get into something like that. Everybody's got everything covered and nobody wants you there.
Yep.
So
Would you call it a shameful, squalid waste of time?
it was a shameful, squalid waste of my time. Yes, I don't know about
Yes.
everybody else's, but mine certainly.
It's a nice distinction. Before we go to commercial break here, we get a final parting shot of Bobby getting punched in the cup, which is definitely a thing 12-year-old boys would do. Be like,
Yes, anyone
is...
who has ever
absolutely.
put on a cup has had someone either kick or punch them.
Well, it's
Nut
like what
tap.
you do with tongs. You have to do a knock-knock whenever you put it on, just to
Yeah, you
make
gotta
sure.
test it out. Else
But yeah.
you know it's gonna work.
That's right.
Bobby gets punched, and then we go to break.
Wow, I
We
thought
cut
we were
back
really
to-
going to break there for a second. There was such a pregnant pause there. I thought we were really going to break.
No, we don't get ads on this show.
Not yet. We take
Good for you.
we take a deep breath. Yeah, not yet.
Just
Uh,
recenter.
Just
Mhm.
a little bit of self-reflection.
Sure.
Really
We
think
come.
about what we've
I
done.
am worth it.
No. How about
The coach tells everybody to hit the showers. He says no Oklahoma car washes. Actually, get your hair wet, which is kind
Oh.
of funny.
Yeah, but
Is that a
Uh,
thing?
It is
Is
fun.
that
I've never heard of an
city?
Oklahoma car wash before. I've heard of Hollywood showers. Don't take a Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of all the same. They all mean the same thing. It's a sink shower. He says, yeah, don't.
so it's like a
don't
horse
phone it.
bath. Is that what it is? Is it the same
Yeah,
as
like a
saying
horse bath.
Yeah, I was waiting
a
for you
bath
guys to
or
say
a
it.
horse
A
bath?
well, either, but it's just larger sponge. But yeah, a whore's bath. Yeah, is what I was always told by my grandfather. Now I don't know who he was hanging out
Yeah.
with earlier in his life, but yeah, whore's bath.
Well, they're going to politely call it an Oklahoma car wash.
That's very nice.
I
Yeah.
don't, I don't think you could say horse bath in the 90s.
Probably
on TV.
not. Probably
Yeah,
not.
maybe not.
Lady of ill reputes washing time.
A sex worker's sink
Sex workers sink spa.
sauna.
A
Yes.
glory hole.
Oh no, that's a whole different thing.
Whole different thing.
Whole thing.
Oh my gosh. Peggy is going to be arguing with the wrestling coach in his office because Connie wants to wrestle. Peggy is going to quote, she's going to say Title IX. The gym coach is going to fire back and say, well, Roe v. Wade doesn't apply to my wrestling team.
Whoa.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
Shout
a
out
good
Roe
one.
v.
Doesn't apply to
Wade.
much anything anymore, does it?
It does not.
That tells you
No.
exactly how in tune this guy is. He thinks Title IX and Roe v. Wade are the same thing. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yes. Yeah, that's a lot of the humor there is that he thinks Title IX and Roe v. Wade are the same. And then also I did underline that's pertinent here in 2004.
Well, also,
Which doesn't
2004.
2004. Yeah, that's where we're at.
2024. That's where we are. Yeah.
Across the highway here, we have Baylor University, which they're not worried about Title IX either.
No, of course not.
Well, yeah.
That one takes, that takes a little research. Topical.
I'll put up an article on.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Baylor, famously non-scandalous school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Great place to learn, kids. Come on.
We cut
on
over
down.
to Peggy is having a sit-down discussion with the Supernussenpones and drinking Zinfandel, which
Oh,
is fun.
Zinfandel. Okay.
What a
Yeah.
day.
Yes. The Supernussenpones are worried. Connie makes the point that wrestling could set her apart on her college applications, and she says, "Dad, on my last resume, you said I lacked real world experience," which is a very funny criticism for a father to have of his 12-year-old daughter's practice college application.
Yeah, I bet she's been writing it for 8 years.
I always thought that was hilarious. That whole play up of the Asian culture of dads and moms forcing their kids to be smart.
Yeah. Min is gonna say Con Junior plays violin and she sculpts with metal and she speaks 3 languages. What sets her apart?
What sets her apart? Yeah.
Sculpts with metal is the one for me right there. That's fantastic.
Yeah. It was very funny, and then
I
it's
just love that Con thought that just being smart in Texas would be
yes,
so funny.
classic Con, absolutely throwing Texas under the bus.
Pretty close to the target there.
Yes. So the Supernussenpones are going to visit the school and really put their foot down to try to get Connie into the wrestling program. The wrestling coach is finally going to make the connection that Peggy is Bobby's mom in the office here.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, so you're Bobby's mom?" And On roasts the wrestling coach and says "Very good. You followed the trail of clues that start with the last name." On absolutely spitting flames. I do
love that Hank. He says that it's all well and good to support women's rights unless it takes a spot away from a man.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably the funnest line from Hank.
Yes. Yeah. Hank.
There are
on
times
his-
like
on
that.
his shit.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but there are
No, go for it.
times when Hank does come across as very stereotypical Texan older white guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I always feel like he redeems himself by the end of the show. And whatever
Yeah.
he says is something that's been ingrained in him. We also have to remember that Cotton is his father. So he has gotten as far away as he possibly can. But as a son of a man a lot like Cotton, I can tell you it is tough to start separating yourself from that stuff.
Yeah. It's
Oh, yeah.
ingrained for sure.
Yes, for
And
sure.
Hank does do a good job of opening up.
He does.
Yeah. It took Mike
In
20
some
years to erase the N word from his vernacular. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
It was a Nissan. I was driving a Nissan. Saying,
You can't say that.
Nissan?
Nissan.
Yeah.
I'm
Nissan.
gonna bleep that every.
That'd be great. I was driving a boop. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, my granddad is definitely was very much Cotton Hill, and
Sure.
Maybe the nephews have heard about us talk about it in Shins of the Father. Maybe they haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that episode we don't need to talk about.
Yeah, it's actually not. It's actually not released.
Good.
But
We're in a legal battle with Fergie.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
the
Not the one
Principal
you
Mosk.
think, though.
Yeah.
yeah, it's actually just a guy with the last name of Ferguson.
Fergie.
Everyone calls him Fergie.
Yeah.
The Principal Moss can't pronounce Supernussenpone, which is very funny.
That was very good.
Con is going to leave the office with a zinger of talking about how if you don't let Connie wrestle, I'll show you. I'll put the Sue in Supernussenpone. So
I
Con
like that,
threatens.
I like that
That's a
wordplay.
good
Yeah.
comment.
Khan threatens to sue, which works very well with Principal Moss. He's very afraid of lawsuits. It's kind of part of his shtick.
Yeah, the whole wheelchair ramp thing.
Yeah, the
Fighting.
coach here has a funny thing. He says Title IX was Dick Nixon's biggest mistake.
You know, it wasn't the war on
That
drugs.
was pretty
Yeah.
good.
Well, it
Yeah.
wasn't the quitting and the whole thing, it wasn't.
Hmm.
Oh, that was Reagan anyway, not Nixon. Never mind.
Yeah,
Two guys, two different guys.
I thought they were the same person, just in a different
might as
skin
well.
suit.
Might as well
Yeah, it all blends together.
Vietnam, all that stuff. Yeah, but Title IX was
Vietnam,
Dick Nixon's
cocaine in the
biggest
80s, all
mistake.
the same.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
So yeah, Bobby is upset because he's now going to have to fight for his spot, and Hank delivers us that gem of a line that all's well and good until a man loses his job, and Bobby follows it up and says, "Yeah, it's worse when they take away our favors because we're used to getting them."
Yeah, that's
on
right.
the nose,
That white
but really
privilege.
fun.
Yeah.
Yes, I was going to say those two lines really encapsulate white male privilege, and if you know any white males who are really upset about the changing times, those two lines pretty much just described it.
Well, it also
Yeah, for
shows
sure.
that Hank could pass that down to his son if he's not real careful. That whole thing that came from Cotton to him could also go to Bobby, and see that's the
Yeah.
thing you fear as a son of somebody who was like that.
Well, in doing
Yeah.
all this King of the Hill podcast, that's one of the things that we've noticed from a lot of the people that reach out is you got like 50% of them are all inclusive.
Yeah.
Black, white, Hispanic, gay, trans, whatever, like huge variety of audience. But the other 50% is people who would think that he would vote for Donald Trump, like Hank Hill is going to vote for Donald Trump
Yeah.
and be a part of the MAGA atmosphere and stuff like that. That's the one thing I don't really like about the divided audience is like half of it is like super inclusive, loves the show for what it really is, and then you have these guys who have like this red washed like perception
Well, I
of what
think-
King of the Hill is.
Yeah.
I think right now
They
that's
don't really
just where.
get the joke.
Well, again, I think that's
Yeah.
where our
It's
country and the
a little
world
right
are
over the
right
head.
now.
Yeah, that pretty much encapsulates
Yeah.
Yeah.
America.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, it kinda sucks.
down with Hollywood, but we like King of the Hill because they're on our side, not knowing that all the writers are all
Ridiculous.
liberal writers and stuff like that, or all
Yeah,
went to
they're
liberal
kind of
arts
making
schools and stuff
fun.
like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The joke is lost on some folks, certainly. But if you get the jokes, welcome to our show.
Welcome.
So Bill has some really funny lines here in the alleyway. Bill's going to say that he's all for women wrestling, except in pudding, because that's demeaning to people who make pudding.
And I agree with
Yeah,
that.
demeaning to the pudding makers.
Yes.
That's good stuff.
Which is a very funny line from Bill. I loved Bill here in the middle of the episode. Dale is going to chime in and say that, the number one priority on the Feminite agenda after their
Feminite.
meeting is, Feminite agenda. The number one priority is co-ed bathrooms.
It's so interesting to me how often Dale says stuff, and it's just something that you would hear someone say in 2024.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a lot of
all
that
the same
stuff. That's a lot of that
issues.
stuff.
Absolutely.
I actually
also-
prefer like unisex bathrooms because you don't have to wait for the bathroom. It's like there's a bathroom open. There's no men or women's. It's just either or in each bathroom. You know.
I'm going to blow up
And you
this
don't have to
Starbucks
share it.
regardless.
Yeah, I'm tearing it up.
Yeah.
We're in a
Sorry.
We learned that Dale doesn't have co-ed bathrooms in his
In
own
his house. That's the punchline, yes, is that they will not be instituting co-ed bathrooms in the house.
The building that we are in is 110 years old, and it is 22 floors. And the way it works
Flex.
is, well, it's fixing to not be. Well, the way it works is floor 22, men's. Floor 21, men's. Floor 20, women's. It's like two men's bathrooms
staggered.
to every woman's bathroom in this building.
and they're all on different floors.
Yeah, they are. We literally have to tell women to go down one floor if they want to use the bathroom.
Oh,
It's
God.
insanity.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Well,
We're
That's
trying
nuts.
to get the rest of the floor. If we get the rest of the floor, then all our bathrooms become co-ed bathrooms.
Wow. We'll have
Um,
to check back in on that.
Yeah, do that.
yeah, we'll do an
Give us an
update.
update.
Check back in like 6 months.
Some hot news I just gave you.
So there's a really kind of a fucked up joke here that happens before the break. Did anybody look into this last punchline? Peggy
Is it
and
where Hank calls Earl Warren a woman?
yes. So Peggy asks the question to Hank: did a woman ruin the Supreme Court? Hank says yes, and her name was Earl Warren. Do you guys know who Earl
Yeah.
Warren is?
I know the name. I know the
Supreme
name
Court
as a Supreme
Justice.
Court
Yes.
Justice. Yeah.
He was the Chief Justice. Primarily, he was the Chief Justice that was responsible for the unanimous Supreme Court decision in Brown versus the Board of Education.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah, that was
So Earl Warren is responsible for the ruling that desegregated the schools, and Hank thinks that he ruined the Supreme Court.
But see, that's a cotton thing. That's a
a
cotton.
cotton
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
or a very Texas thing because
That's
states'
true, too.
rights
Mhm.
is a
True, too.
huge thing in Texas. So I think
Yeah.
I think it more goes back
Not so
to
much.
like
It's just Texas rights.
states
but
like Texas rights. Yeah, we don't even consider ourselves a state most of
No.
the time. When people say where are
Yeah.
you from that are like international, I don't say I'm from the United States. I say I'm from Texas. You know what I mean?
We're still trying to secede for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how's that going?
Oh, it's going great.
Going
Yeah,
great.
thanks for asking. It's going great.
Uh-huh.
We got shirts. That's about it so far.
Yeah, we'll have to check back in on
Well,
that
that's where
one,
you
too.
start. You start first with the shirt.
Hey, it's all about
Yeah,
the merch.
We've got shirts and we're in
It
the
is all
process of
about the
forming
merch.
committees. We've got committees that we're forming.
Committees are
Yeah.
forming.
Ugh.
Yeah, but interesting joke there at the end before we cut to our second commercial break there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And now we pause for reflection.
Mm-hmm. Pausing for reflection.
I wish I was taller.
I need to get a mirror in this room.
We come back to, and Peggy and Min are talking, and Peggy is very conflicted because now, Bobby has to compete for his spot against Connie.
Yeah.
And Min is there, and Peggy's like, "Who do I choose, Connie or Bobby?" And Min is just like, "Choose Connie, choose Connie, choose Connie." I just thought it was so fun. Min was like,
Yeah.
"Choose Connie."
Well, because she's got that dilemma she's got to face now. Is it's like, do I pick Connie because Connie is a woman and I want to empower women, or do I pick my son because it's my son?
Mm-hmm.
Nepotism or feminism?
Yeah, there you go.
Dilemma. Yeah.
Peggy, yeah, really gets pulled in two directions here, but they've decided that if Connie's going to do this, she's got to get prepared, and Min has got a wrestling book, and Luann is going to help. So we have a
Much
little
to
scene
Bill's
of
delight.
yes, we have a scene of Min and Luann wrestling as Bill is watching, and I watch with subtitles on. So I can see where they're, putting in the sound effects.
Yeah.
And he's smacking his lips and watching Min and Luann wrestling, which is kind of funny. And then we turn around and he's eating pudding.
I didn't catch that.
You didn't catch that? Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
there are so
it
many
says
times.
smacking lips and he's eating pudding.
There are so many times when Bill is such a friggin' creep. I mean, he really can be the creepiest guy on the thing, and it does make you feel like these other three guys, Dale included, are the only thing keeping him from turning into a full-fledged creep.
Yeah, I'm really hoping.
Yes.
I'm hoping for a Luann OnlyFans episode in the new series where it's just her doing the manger babies, nothing sexual. It's just her doing manger babies on OnlyFans.
But the puppets,
and getting caught up in it.
Yeah, getting caught up in it kind of thing.
the puppets are on her feet.
Because she's
That'd be
innocent
funny.
most of the time. She has that naive innocence about her sometimes, and I think that would make for a great episode.
Well, they kind of do that episode in the episode about Peggy's feet.
Yeah, they
Spoiler
do.
alerts.
They do kind of touch on that for sure. Yeah,
I can't wait for that episode.
those big
Yes.
skis, them big ski boats.
Yes. So yeah, very funny scene of Bill eating pudding and watching Min and Luann wrestling.
Well, see, if you're eating it, it's not near as degrading to the pudding people.
Yeah, he's being
wrestling
respectful.
in it is
Right.
Is
That's
out
the
of the
meaning.
question.
Yeah,
Tap.
respectfully.
Hank is doing a drill with Bobby, a quote unquote drill where he has covered Bobby in a piece of carpet and he has wet the carpet down to make it heavy. And he tells Bobby the key to wrestling is explosive energy. And he's trying to get
You
Bobby
have to explode.
to explode,
yeah,
boy.
yeah.
I will tell you this, that I have heard stories of that actually happening, like in football
Mhm.
practice here in Texas.
Yep.
That is, and
I think
I would
someone
imagine
went
Oklahoma's
carpet.
same thing. Same
was-
kind of approach. Also in the Army.
It was something we heard, but I never saw anything
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I never.
No,
saw
I don't think
that.
I ever saw it either, but you would hear these horror stories of that kind of stuff.
The old
you know?
Oklahoma drill for sure. Like,
Run in
that
a-
was-
well, that's
What the hell's the Oklahoma drill?
It's where they lay on the
It's a football
ground,
drill.
and then the coach
Thanks.
blows the whistle, and they jump up and they run as fast as they can at each other.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's to show who. It's pretty much to show who's the fastest off the line and who's the strongest off the line.
And who can get
Yeah,
a concussion the
it's brutal.
fastest.
Yeah, they don't do it anymore. I'm pretty sure that's an
For that
outlawed
reason,
activity.
yeah.
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 I
There's
think I
probably
won.
court precedents for that. Yeah.
I do love that Bobby says, "I'm danged here. I'm royally.
I'm
danged."
royally danged.
Royally
danged.
dang.
We cut to Connie getting kind of picked on in the cafeteria for being the the girl wrestler. The other bully.
Yeah, what's the name of this kid with the tiny
blonde hair?
ponytail and the sides of his head shaved?
That
What is his name? Do you guys know?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
this is
I know
our
his
first
name.
That's what we brought you
introduction
here
of
for.
him.
He's always he always kind of shows up and Dooley shows up and he goes, I love her. I love
Yeah.
her tater tots. Yeah.
Hold on just a second. I have his
It's
name.
really high.
It's really high up.
Hi, Connie.
Oh yeah, that's Clark Peters. Sorry,
Clark Peters. There
Clark
it is.
I knew he was with a
I
C.
think this
C.
is
Yeah, Clark Peters.
our first
Is it?
time meeting him.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Connie is, talking to Khan and talking about how she wants to quit, and Khan is not allowing her to quit. He's like, Khan, Junior, I went out on a big limb for you, and he says, if you lose, you're no longer my son.
That's a good joke too.
I love that.
Yeah.
Tragic line from Khan. He's really letting it slip out that Khan wanted a son. We cut to one of my favorite scenes here at the end of the episode. Peggy is getting her frustrations out at the batting cage. She's got a pile of Alamo beers at her feet, and she's just yelling at the world and yelling at the coach who wouldn't let her join.
She's absolutely wasted, I think.
She is wasted. She's yelling at Luann to get her more tokens.
She is a strong ass woman. I'm just telling you that. She
really is.
And think about her center of gravity with those giant feet.
Oh man, she could do the whole she could do the Michael Jackson lean forward and
Oh my
touch the
God,
ground. Yeah. She's got
There
feet
was an
like
episode
Krusty the
recently
Clown.
where they thought that there was an intruder in the house, and Peggy just flips a chair over and snaps a leg
right.
off. of
That's
it.
right.
Like, it's
Oh yeah,
Gets
she's
it, yeah.
she's unfuckwittable for sure. I wouldn't mess with Peggy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She's
Oh,
stout.
yeah.
He doesn't have to worry about Peggy getting mugged at the grocery store because she's
he's
gonna whoop
got
the mugger's
protection.
ass.
Well,
yeah.
you got to think
He's
that
got
that's
that thing on it.
well, you got to think that's a little bit of a turn on for him. Because I mean,
Do you think that he's a power bottom? Is that
Well,
what you're saying? That Hank's a
This
power
has
bottom?
come up quite a few times. We
Peggy.
posit that Hank might have a foot fetish.
Absolutely. I think he has a foot
Yes.
fetish, but I think he also has a whatever you call that hairdo.
Domination.
Well, he has that hairdo fetish. The mom in the '90s. Big.
I think-
single
yeah.
white lady afro
I don't know.
mom kind of
Oh,
thing.
yes.
I think he likes men, so
Yeah.
Peggy's the closest
Lots
thing
of-
he can get to being with
Lots
a
of
man.
hairspray, that kind of thing. I think he loves that.
There's a lot of theories out there about Hank's sexuality.
I don't think that. I think the closest Hank ever gets to questioning his sexuality would be in some of that homoerotic, football and stuff like that he did. But other than that, I don't
Well,
think
the
it.
Willie Nelson dress.
Well, that's true. That's true. I doubt it. I probably very rarely crosses his mind. But I would imagine a shower is immediately afterwards. Anytime it does.
Ooh,
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta clean your brain.
yeah.
Clean your brain.
That's,
Yes.
if you take one thing away from this, kids, clean your brain.
Clean your brains out.
Yes, listen up, nephews.
Once you're done listening to this podcast, go take a shower.
Go
Clean
take
your
a shower.
brain.
I think we're
And-
all going to need
and
to
hey,
take a shower.
No, don't Oklahoma car wash your brain.
No.
Yeah, don't do that.
Really scrub it.
Really good.
Luann is gonna pull Peggy out of the car. I just like that Luann is hanging out with Peggy when she's going through it.
Yeah.
She's
but
a real one. We love
She really
Luann.
is. Luann is pulling Peggy into the house, and a light goes on in Bobby's room, and she goes, "I'm sorry, Jeffrey." And Luann's like,
I love that.
Luann's
line.
like, that's Bobby, and Peggy was like, "I wanted to call him Jeffrey, but some man wouldn't let me."
I love that. That is one of my all-time favorite jokes from Peggy. Just the fact that she has to be flat-ass drunk to admit the fact that she was going to name her kid something else.
Yeah.
And some man wouldn't
That's
let
his
her.
middle name too, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
Bobby Jeffrey.
Yeah, Bobby
I believe
Jeffrey.
I read
That's his middle
that
name.
while I
I think
was-
that's his middle
yeah.
name, yeah.
So his name is BJ?
Oh,
He's
interesting.
got the middle name.
His initials are BJ.
BJ Hill.
Hey, mine too.
I was
Ah,
gonna
there you
say,
go.
It's yours.
I'm
We-
a BJ myself.
So your middle
Big
name
one.
starts with a J? The big one.
I'm a BJ, I said.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it's John.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you. I was a little worried that I was being yelled at there for a second. I didn't.
No, no.
Oh no. I just
the
had
light.
to clarify that.
I get it. Sure. That's never come up
Yeah.
before today, though, right?
No, every episode.
Never was a problem in school or anything like that.
Oh no, not at
Yeah,
all.
sure.
I
Just,
didn't get bullied.
just slid right through. No problem.
Yep.
The light goes on in Bobby's room because he's up at night and really he's worried about the tryouts tomorrow. But he gets an idea after he gets out of bed and he kicks the video game cover for the wrestling video game. The name of the video game is Sergeant Gorgeous. I don't know if you saw that.
Gorgeous.
I like that. That sounds like a riveting game.
Yes, it's very
Band
funny.
name too.
It's very funny how guys will say that they hate drag and then be so into wrestling, which is drag for men. But Bobby gets an idea, and we get a cut shot of him looking at the video game and then looking at Connie through her window. Connie is obviously also very worried about this. She's got her heads down, so it looks like they hatch a little idea. But
Get a plot going.
yeah, it's the next day over at the tryouts. The coach is like, sorry your mom couldn't make it, here to see you. And Bobby's like, my mom couldn't come because she had to sleep in.
Good stuff.
She's hungover. She had to sleep in.
Hey guys, I'm gonna. This is an edit point for you.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that our iPad is sitting here at 1%. We may go down here in a second.
Yeah, we've got it plugged in, so it might stay along with us.
if
but
we
for some
do-
reason it's not charging upwards.
If we do, we'll get you back on the phone here in just a second. Okay.
Cool.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
We'll,
We're right
we'll-
at we're
we'll
Yeah, I
power
got you.
through.
I got you.
we're close to the end here too.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're at the tryouts and it starts, suspenseful music is playing. We see Bobby and Connie kind of lock up. Everyone's cheering them on. The Super Pones have the camera going. And then we see all of a sudden Bobby just picks Connie up over his head and absolutely hits her with a knee drop.
Yeah, they start
When
doing
I
that
saw this, I
K5
thought that it
wrestling. They
was-
start doing the WWE style stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
I thought that this was just like a tactic that Bobby was going for, and that he actually like seriously injured Connie at first, and then I was like, oh no, they're doing it.
He pulled in real
They're
wrestling.
doing a thing.
Yeah, that was one of the jokes the whole episode is, real wrestling versus fake wrestling, or
Yep.
what's fake versus real. And, all wrestling is real.
It's true.
But yeah, they kind of go into
Your
this,
mouth
this
to
kind
God's
of
ear.
choreographed. We get a funny line from Connie as she gets thrown to the side, and we see this through Khan's video camera.
Yeah, recording for the Harvard application.
Connie says, I want to go to a party school. Yeah, Chico State.
I love how she has
Which I
her
thought-
character ready to go.
Yep.
She's like, yeah, this is
Party girl.
Yeah.
Peggy comes in late. She's hungover as hell with some big glasses on. And she's like, what's happening? She hears the cheering and she's like, oh, is that girl beating up my poor Jeffrey? And Hank's like, no, I think they found a way that they could both win this. And we get kind of a nice, cute wrap up there. But yeah, Peggy ends it. She's like, that's our Jeffrey.
That's so good.
So yeah, they figure out a way at the end to make it work with real wrestling, not fake wrestling.
I love drunk ass hungover Peggy. That is just the best.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
hilarious.
think we've gotten a hungover Peggy yet.
Well, I mean, like she's
But it
not a
was
big
nice.
enough tool to begin with. Then you give her the hangover with the giant glasses and stuff. That's great.
Also, did she sleep through work? Because she's supposed to be the long.
Yeah, I guess she
True.
did. They had to call a sub in for the sub.
Didn't think about that. Yeah. Poor kids.
Did she just?
Education is
sleep
important, kids.
Yes. But that's the episode. Yeah.
That's
We
great.
did it.
That
Good
was
job.
great.
We made it through, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, we loved it.
Should we step immediately into the alley, Chris?
To the children's playground. Yes, the alley.
The alley, yeah, the children's playground.
From the school.
buy you a drink.
This is, of course, the segment of the show where we take a step out back and we give this episode a rating because art deserves to be judged and given a score.
No, art deserves to be cut to send more funding to sports.
You got that right.
Yeah. We don't need art. What's a
we-
crayon? I have
We
never
use
seen a
a
map pencil
scale
before.
Of Alamo beers.
Okay.
So we give the
Sure.
episode, if you're down in one beer, it's a light night for you. If you're going all six, you're going to miss work tomorrow like Peggy.
Yeah.
I will kick it off. I think I'm going to go I'm gonna give this one a solid 4.
Yep, that's
I'm
where
gonna
I'm
count
at as
down
well.
4
No, that's
out
kind of
of
that's kind of
this
coincidental because I was going with 4 myself. Not too many beers. Not kind of light buzz going.
4.25.
Keeping up. 3.25.
4.25. Yeah.
Whoa.
Ooh,
Okay.
4 and a
Yeah, I'm
quarter.
going to go ahead with 4 1/4, and the quarter is for savings.
So you're cracking up a 4th and
For
kinda
later.
leaving it out.
Sure.
For later.
That's right.
It's a
No,
sipper, yeah. It's a sipping
yeah.
can,
So
not a drinking can.
I told you guys I got kicked out of high school twice. One of the reasons was because I used to keep a case in the back of my trunk. And I would, this is at the Baptist school, and I would go across the street and just get wasted at lunch on hot beer. So a quarter beer that's been left out, that's not a problem.
Cowboy cold, baby.
You got it.
I think I would have been willing to move this one up in score if it I think had more of the kind of like professional wrestling trope in it throughout the episode. Like we see it at the beginning and we see it at the end, but I kind of wish they would have teased it a little bit more.
Yeah, it would have been funny.
I wanted like
good gags.
I wanted like Sergeant Gorgeous to give life experience relationship advice to Bobby. I think if there was some way for him to actually talk to the wrestler, maybe he was in town or something like that, I think that would have been fantastic.
That was kind of my thing with the episode too, is we didn't get enough Bobby and Connie.
Yes.
I felt like it was more Peggy than it was the Bobby and Connie.
As a teenager, I was able to get the Undertaker to body slam me one time. So I know that it changed the way that I looked at the world.
That's dope. Where did that happen?
It was at the Heart of Texas Coliseum in downtown Waco, Texas. Sunday, Undertaker.
Damn, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
Was it like you get called?
It was a fake one. You know what I mean? It was a child, so it was a fake one. But yeah, no, it was during the when you line up to go get an autograph, and then I asked him to body slam me, and he did. I mean, ask and you shall receive. Yeah.
Wow.
Next time I go to a convention, I'm going to be like, hey, can you kick me in the nuts?
Well, yeah, I was about to say, I asked Leo to kick me in the nuts, and he said he doesn't do that. But he did show me his butthole.
Oh, there you go.
I actually have a Canadian buddy. You said Mankind. I actually have a Canadian buddy who does a podcast for men's mental health, and he actually had Mick Foley on his podcast.
Oh, cool!
And interviewed him.
And coincidentally, he showed him his.
Well, he also does a men's mental health podcast, but he is he's real big into wrestling, and he does a lot of like local wrestling promotions. So he kind of like through that he's kind of met some famous wrestlers.
Freelance
and stuff like
proctologist too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We didn't really talk about the professional wrestling angle. Were you guys into professional wrestling, WWE and all that?
Yeah, the Raw era, like through like that NWO and the Generation X and that whole like rated PG-13 era. Yeah, man, I loved it.
I was a big Stone Cold fan. I thought that everyone should have their own entry theme like that. Just in normal life.
I like Stone Cold too.
I agree with that.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Imagine how you were drinking those beers in high school.
Yeah, just slamming them,
and then
pour them all over your face. Yeah.
Most of it
No,
on
I mean just
Just coming back to class wet as hell with hot beer.
Yeah, well, there was different reasons I was wet, but yes, with the hot beer.
He was watching Titanic.
That's right. Gets me right in the feels every time.
Nice.
All right,
Nice.
so it sounds like we're kind of all on the same page as
Mhm.
far as ranking the episode.
Yep.
But we have one last thing to do here,
Uh-oh.
and that is crowning our Hill Kings of the episode.
Yeah.
We don't like to put any forethought into this. We generally like to decide in the minute. It could be whoever had the best joke delivery, whoever you thought had the most character development, or just whoever you thought stood out the most in your mind.
I've got
the king of your hill.
I've got mine ready. Yeah, I've got.
I got mine ready too.
You kind of mentioned it earlier. It's when you said we don't get enough Connie and Bobby, and that it's a Peggy episode. I'm taking Peggy.
Peggy.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
I'm taking Peggy. We get a flashback from her.
Yeah.
Which is nice. We get, she's driving a lot of the action and conflict, and she's really going to bat for these girls. She's really going to bat for Connie. And then we get to see her be drunk at the batting cages and hungover, So yeah, I think this is a Peggy episode. I think it's her episode, and she did really well with it.
I would say
Right,
for
Peggy.
me it would be Connie because she fought so hard to do what she wanted to do, kind of thing. She was like, she wasn't taking no for an answer. She's like, I want to wrestle. I don't want to do gymnastics or none of this. I want to wrestle. And then following through with it or whatever and getting to do what she wanted. And then kind of shitting on everybody at the end with Bobby, kind of thing, like that, the pro wrestling atmosphere feel to their wrestling match. I really like that because I don't know, it takes really funny people to say, hey, we're supposed to be doing this serious sport. Like people who wrestle are serious about it, and it's like any sport, really, any competitive sport. People that are participating are serious, and the fact they took it and made light of it, I kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Connie is like underrated funny.
She was my backup pick. I almost went with her.
Your safety.
She's a very good kind of like straight man. Like
Yeah.
in
She is a
that
good straight
in the
man.
Roe
Straight
v.
man.
Wade line earlier,
Yeah.
they're exiting the office and she's like, Miss Hill, isn't Roe v. Wade? And Miss Hill's like, you have to let him win it. So, yeah, she's a very good, smart character. Her humor is
but
very
the Chico
smart.
State thing was really funny.
Chico State was
Yeah,
good.
Chico State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good pick.
All right, who's
Excellent
next?
pick. You can go next. It's all you.
Okay, so I am also picking Peggy, but for a different reason. It is much like the Time Magazine Person of the Year. It can be a good person, it can be a bad person, right? And so just remember, this is the same magazine that had Vladimir Putin on the cover and called him a peacemaker. So I'm going to go with Peggy, just simply because she fights and fights and fights and really gets nothing done, just gets drunk and misses work. So I think there's something there.
Yeah, Peggy. This is definitely the Peggy dichotomy.
Yes, the dichotomy of Peg.
She's a complex woman.
I like that pick. Two Peggies for two very different reasons.
Yeah.
I am into it. I think I'm gonna go kind of left field. I'm gonna go with Dooley.
Oh,
Oh, Dooley.
Whoa, we
like
got
it.
Dooley as
I
the
call
king.
my
Hill.
yeah.
that's good
Hill
stuff.
King.
I go for the chuckle.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a chuckle fuck.
Chuckle
Mm.
fuck, yeah.
Whoever gives me the best chuckle in the episode, if I'm on the fence, I'm gonna go with whoever gave me the best chuckle. And Dooley peeing in a locker, and being in the principal's office for pissing in a locker. He only had like 2 lines in the whole episode, but they were probably my favorite.
I will say that
I'm gonna throw
Yes,
it to the
he had
Dool
2
string.
lines.
Dooley
Two
has
lines.
Dooley has fantastic timing. You know,
Yes.
his timing is
Excellent
always
timing.
great. Yeah.
And I appreciate good timing, and I appreciate pissing in a locker.
I like that he didn't
As
know
do we
which
all.
kid's locker it was.
It was just a locker.
That makes it so
It wasn't
much
the
better.
targeted bullying. It was just he picked a locker and he pissed in
Very
it.
good stuff.
And also, yeah, his 2 lines were I peed in some kid's locker and girls' sports are a joke. He says, like, yeah, it's 11 words.
Yeah, but he hammered it out though. He
Did.
Sports are-
didn't need to say.
Children's-
He didn't need to say any more than what he said. Yeah, say less.
He had good mass. Yeah, this episode. Nice.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for this segment, and that is going to go ahead and wrap it up for this episode.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys coming on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks
no
so
worries,
much,
man.
guys.
No worries at all.
Ton of fun, guys. I'm sorry if we derailed it at all.
No,
If you ever-
we got a
No,
lot of
this
good
is-
90s
this
stuff
is
out there.
typical. This
Yeah.
is typical for
If
the
you ever
show.
want us on
guys- you
again
guys
for
fit
just
right
random episodes, just let us know, man.
Yeah,
We love collaboration. It's kind of funny with this King of the Hill stuff. There's a few other podcasts out there that I tried to collaborate
Speaks
with.
for himself.
And not every one of them was as receptive as you were, and some were opposite of receptive, like blocked me
Yeah.
from communicating with them on Instagram and stuff like that.
Why
You
can't we just
mentioned
all
that
get
when I was
along?
on-
Yeah, I feel like they're afraid that somebody's going to come like take their piece of the
It's
pie or
fine.
something, but none of us are making any money doing this. So what pie are we really stealing from
pie?
each other?
Yeah,
it's
there is no pie,
absolutely
and we're all just
fine.
having fun.
I think it
When
would
the
be
fuck
funny
did we
if
get
we
ice
started kind of like a Drake
Yeah.
Kendrick style beef, and we started like
Oh.
releasing diss
I like
tracks
that.
about each other.
I like
Yeah,
that.
we could do that. We should. Let me get in the lab real quick and write some disses up.
in the lab.
God, right at the end.
Oh shit. Well, text them or something. Let them know. All right, here, I guess I can get back on.
Yeah.
That was fun though. I don't know what the number is, so we can join it, but it was fun.
Yeah, I don't either. I guess it's that same email, isn't it?
Just email and tell me sorry, and then we just died. They'll understand.
Yeah.
They can cut us off. They're.
Was the show business?
We were almost over. Yeah, we were almost done. It was fun.
Yeah, it was all good.
They'll get it.
That was a whole show. It was just pretty much we were on the outro part of everything.
We had warned them anyway.
Yeah, we told them
Got
that
it.
was a possibility.
All right, frame us up. Let's get out of here. I gotta get some coffee or something. Give me 1 second.
No, you're good. I got to piss.